Yeah, it's different from the thing.
See it?
Yep. It should be coming now. That's good. This shit out. Right, get back in. Yeah, there you go. You see it?
Yeah, I just got the alert. Yeah.
All right, there we go. That's good. Well, that was perfect, yo. Now let me make you the host. Get about it, man.
So Richard never found that sauce?
No, we playing having fun.
That's his favorite sauce.
Yeah, fun,
I'm
yo.
waiting to get that one off.
Then he used the source I sent him. I sent source the Janine showing you.
Alex Torres, peace. Peace, man.
All right, here you go. So let me get you back on deck. All right, here we go. Make a host. All right, there you go. I'm gonna jump back in from my phone.
Yeah.
All right.
Um, everybody, come on. I got you, said. I'm about to drop the link. Matter of fact, said go to the I'm gonna put it in the Discord. And then I'm gonna drop it in the chat in a second. In 1 second, 1 second. All right, so that's in the Discord. Yeah, peace, everybody. Follow on through, man. Follow on through, man. Right, Black at you, man. Sosa World. Sosa World, I forgot what number this is. Sosa World number 18. Eventually, I'm gonna go live on my actual channel, Sosa World. I mean, that's coming. That's coming. I want to start when I'm ready to rock out, rock all the way out, and I'm gonna go to my channel and do shows on the Suez Killer platform and do shows on Sosa World channel. Cedric in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Make your fault just in case there's an issue.
I need to figure out how to make me an avatar.
Huh?
I need to figure out how to make me one of these avatars.
I know, right? I don't know how to walk you through it. Like
Yeah.
Miss Tiffany know how to do all that shit on the phone. But normally it's
I'm on my laptop, so it should be easy, but I have no idea.
it's a little you see like when you put your mouse on your icon, there's a mute button and it's 3 dots.
Yeah.
When you click them 3 dots, it should be choose virtual background or choose avatar. You see it?
Boom. Hit the 3 dot. Choose virtual background.
Choose avatar. You see it?
You gotta go somewhere else, or is it in this?
You don't see it in there? You
No.
don't see it ain't under choose virtual background?
Choose virtual background, yes.
And then under that, do you see choose video filter? Or no? It might be different on you.
Background and effects, video filters, yeah.
What about avatar? You want to see choose avatar?
No, I got video filters, virtual background. That's it.
Man, it could be someplace different. I gotta damn look around. Cause sometimes it be someplace different. Like sometimes it's by your you see where your camera at?
Video effects.
You see where your camera at on your like the microphone and you got the camera you click the video on?
Yeah.
Is there like a little arrow right there where you can click up on the arrow? Like to make another little, you know what I'm saying? Like a little level, like a little notch button.
Yeah.
Click
Up
that.
in the corner. It says rotate 90 degrees.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Your laptop different, and I don't know where it's at. Because on my one, I can just go right here. It's right here on the 3 dots. Some people stuff different. I'm not sure. We'll do it. It's all good. We'll do it another time.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Even with you like that, if you want to be like a social, you want to look like me, but you still be in the classroom though. You set it up. Got coming in. Yeah. You look like a student. You good?
Yep.
Good. You look like a student.
Familiar territory.
Yeah.
Nightmares.
Yeah, now I'm looking for Mr. Rich with his damn source, man.
You know he ain't got no source.
Come on.
So Rich was a pseudo killer turned magi archer. So, yeah.
It hurt.
Dang. How?
Pseudo killer turned magi archer.
It is because at some point in time you get stuck in a particular ideology, and I think some of us have it more than others. You know, some of us are willing to challenge your belief systems, like we do in the Discord, especially when it comes to these modern concepts. I'm the one being challenged the most, but I'm willing to be challenged, and I'm standing my ground until the point that the evidence puts you to come to a different conclusion. And you can't argue with that. You just have to find and make peace with it, you know. But when your ideology is so strong, when this whole journey has been within the confinements of the Black conscious community, and terms like white man science and can't be trusted, and Egypt is black, and you know, when these things get challenged, it's as if we're attacking people's fundamental spiritual belief system. It seems that way because you get the same visceral when an apologetics frame of mind when you're dealing with religious folks in terms of their doctrine. It's
Yeah.
similarities are canny.
Yeah, anytime you're going against what's perceived as pro-black, it's going to be an issue. This is why Umar Johnson is very successful in his community. Even though he said a lot of incorrect things, he's false, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's more believable because in your mind, he's fighting for black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In actuality, he's raising money for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Over and over and over and over.
Oh, shit. That was funny. Thus, you're right. Yo, Black Power gives you like a certain amount of coverage, yo. That you know, just coming straight with the information and reality doesn't. It seems like it should be the other way around, yo. But it's actually not. In the school, it's 1.5 million. Can you hear me? My phone going out.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna raise 1.5 million for a school. I'm gonna make a video outside that school, right? And this video is gonna talk about how Marcus Garvey and all of them was such and such and such and such, yo. And I'm gonna get you hyped up with it, yo. How black people need the all boys school. I'm gonna show you this beautiful campus, yo. Right? And we're taking applications, y'all. We're taking applications. Do all that. Be a dynamic speaker, right? And we start sending in money, yo, money, yo. And then 10, 12 years later, yo, the 1.5 million dollar building you was gonna get, you never got it. You end up getting a daggone bandominium, right? Sure. And still ain't been able to open that up. And we happy with it, yo. We happy with it, bro.
That's like 5 years ago.
Was he
He's
pro-black?
making videos every day. Remember? He's making videos
Go
like
against the
every
man.
day. Now he don't even make videos about the school no more. Like
that gig is up.
No more. He figured out.
Yeah, that gig is up.
Y'all go to the channel. It was a great show. What's the name of the channel? He'd be killing them, yo. Oh my goodness, yo. What's the name of the channel, yo?
Lenore Honor.
The psychologist guy.
Lenore Honor, the bald head dude you talking about.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
the white. I'm talking about the black guy with the bald head.
Black guy with the bald head.
Is that him?
Lenore Honor. Yeah, Lenore Honor or something.
What y'all call him? Len who?
The last name like Honor or something like that. Lenore Honor or something like that.
We got his name. Somebody in the chat, yo, tell us what the guy name.
Oh, I just got booted.
Uh-oh. Yeah, but that guy's been hammering him. And he started out supporting Umar Johnson. Sent him money and everything. Until he started to dig a little deeper.
Lenny, Len something. Lenny or something.
I got it right here.
Lenny, huh?
Honor. I'm about to put it in the chat.
Share that channel right there. That's the top-notch channel for Umar Johnson information, yo. Be crazy.
Yeah, he made a whole documentary on it, like the whole
What's called a shockumentary. It's called a shockumentary.
Yeah, he made that the whole history.
Yeah, I dare y'all watch the shockumentary, yo. I definitely dare, yo.
Yeah, you know, Omar was threatening him and everything too.
Omar what?
Yeah, threatening him. Yeah, he's gonna get his Goonie Goons on. So I'm gonna get my Goonie Goons.
Oh yeah. He went from threatening with the court, he threatening to that. Yeah, did all that.
Yeah.
And that's when Shorty, and that's when he got tough. That's when the nigga got tough. He's like, okay, you know who you threatening.
You can double down now.
Yeah.
Remember when him and said he was gonna fight?
Oh yeah, that was crazy, yo. Remember he did the thing when he acted like he was on the phone. He was like, "What? Yeah. What you doing?" And the phone and the phone rang. Yo, remember that one?
Yeah.
That was bananas. Now that was bananas, yo.
That's a crazy ass community, man.
Crazy, yo. He had the hat on, yo. He had the hat on. He was on the phone. What I'm saying? Well, come on with it then, yo. Come on with it. Some say ring.
It's been crazy time, but I had some fun, man. It's like a goddamn a wild ass sitcom I've been on for the past 5-6 years.
You ain't lying, yo. Where reality don't make sense, huh?
Bruh. We watch young Pharaoh regurgitate Ancient Aliens History Channel and became a phenomenon. All the while being exposed on his pseudoisms. We're right here, and Billy Carson is running rampant. It's impossible.
Got better marketing, yo. That's the thing, yo. I always respect the young Pseudo game, yo. He had this chick with to help market them for real, yo. They was doing it big, taking people's name on Facebook, acting like they was dead lady. Remember that? They went far when I was willing to do.
Yeah. They're gonna do the whole thing. They're gonna steal views, pay for fake views. They're gonna go all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he went all out, man.
And he got no integrity. They play by no rules. So
the rule got him in the end, though. What's the rule? Don't be getting on that talk crazy about that Jewish community if you want to.
And that's what we talk about when we talk about racial tropes, right? That nigga was on a rocket to stardom ship.
Yep.
And made that one little boo-boo, bro.
A little boo-boo, yo.
You're done, bro.
Candace Owens.
Took his YouTube channel, everything, bro. He ain't been back since. We trying to get back any way he can. He can't make it back, bro.
Can't make it back, yo.
Yeah, like we ain't
happening. You see what's happening to Candace Owens as well, right?
No,
I thought they stopped messing with her. They still on her because she.
She's been ostracized. She's nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got on there
with some of those white conservatives too and stuff. Like she made some enemies on both sides.
On both sides.
Now you can't come back home. You can't come back.
Can't come back home because there ain't no home.
Right. Oh yeah, Blake, we'll let her back. Stop. Y'all know better. Come on back, Kansas.
Yeah, she's trying to wiggle her way back. She's trying to wiggle her way back.
Come on back, Kansas. You changed your stance on that, though, Kansas. Let me ask you, dude. She went on.
Quite honestly, no.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's good money over there.
It is what it is.
She got a good channel. She's on YouTube, so she's good for right now.
Yeah, it's good money in that show. Yeah, it's good money in that little space. Like that Jason Whitlock, if you black, because there's no competition.
Yeah.
Ain't that many of you.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
American Dream can do it. If American Dream started his own channel, he'll have it.
Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor.
Yeah, I can't do it. At least,
the first to do it.
They ain't offered me a check big enough. Let me say that. You know, for the right amount of money, I can wink my eye to you. We can work things out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, Sosa gonna be now. We get to the bag, baby. I open up a Houston in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Might be with you, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the right way. Yeah, I'm gonna steal from it. I'm gonna bring it back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring it back to the people.
I'm definitely with you. Shit, yo.
Instigators in the building.
Yeah. Shit, we're good, man.
Man, what's going on? I was watching y'all last show.
Looking like Prince, baby. What's good, baby?
What about the last show?
Mr. Rich and them was in there giving y'all a hard way to go.
Chef, I'm applying your technique. I don't even listen. And when they're done, I get right back to the same show.
Yeah, Mr. Rich still ain't got that source.
Oh, he's supposed to be bringing the source. What's the source?
He never did. The source he misread on Smash Show. Remember that?
Yeah, but he didn't understand the difference between when they talk about the ship, they're talking about culture, not people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me language to do that, but biological.
Yeah, like he can't find it. No, he can't.
He can't find it. Yeah, on purpose. We're gonna find that show. You got the source, bro. No, you got it from yo.
You don't understand biological evolution. And I heard it early when he said he agreed with Christopher Aaron that they were Africans. And when he said that, I knew right away that in his mind, African equates to
African
quote, blackity black nappy hair. So those indigenous Northeast Africans or North Africans cannot be indigenous Africans. Those are invaders. They have admixed. Every silly argument in the lexicon has been brought up to disqualify people of a lighter hue in the northern region of Africa. It is wild.
But that's the old model. We all believe that at one point. They need to upgrade.
Yeah, you're right.
They still stuck on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Yeah, but that's the ability to grow, though.
It was a pure African.
Yeah,
that's one.
And
the pure African is interesting right there. That's a real interesting idea.
I told him we still got a home. We said you can burn that. He can burn that room up. I ain't never coming back. Like he did. He said he ain't never coming back.
The black algae got him. The black algae took a lot of good men, yo.
Y'all remember when Pan African James said those people in Yemen, they ain't real Africans. They got admixed.
Is it me, yo? Is Cedric phone louder than the whole world or what, yo?
Cedric always got that good mic, man.
Yo, you gotta turn that mic down, yo. What the hell you on, yo? I need to get that.
He on the computer now. That's his natural voice, though. I think his natural voice is a lot.
That's my natural.
Yeah, like when he texts, it's the same tone of his voice. That's what I'm saying. Exactly the same.
Yeah. Yo, be like, but back to the evolution in the pure African thing.
Pure
Diop thing. Remember how Diop said that interview we had, yo, yesterday, the person who was interviewing, man, had a great conversation on all of that, yo, on the Diops. That was a great one. And we did not bring up Diops. She brought the Diops up.
Yeah.
Just for the record. Yeah. She brought up the Afrocentric movement. She brought that up.
Yeah, she touched him up, Chef, but she did it real nicely. When you knock a nigga out, but you hold his head so his head don't hit the back of the ground. She did it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's real safe.
Yeah, she touched him up, yo. Like,
because she kept saying she didn't want to overstep no boundaries.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Nah,
This is a new one.
Oh, it's a new
one, yo. Yeah, boy, this is lethal. Now, this one is lethal. That's a good segue from the one you talked about to this one.
Yeah, she was like,
she went in.
You went a little too far.
Also, it's a different Egyptologist now.
Yeah.
You got one, an expert in the language that we talked about, an expert right there.
So how many Egyptologists have y'all talked to so fucking far?
Man, look, about
you got another one coming up.
Another one coming up.
Peace. What's going on? What y'all talking about?
Now, did
did that.
any of
Hold
them?
on a second, huh? Before we get to argue.
Did any of them agree with Reggie and them yet?
Hell
No,
No.
not one. Not one.
Not one.
This
Jeez.
friendship.
We can always find.
Wait on.
We can always find in an interview where they find something that they think the person agrees with them. We guarantee you they're going to do that. So I'm letting people know in this interview. In this particular interview, right? The lady basically said that Smash, you know what I'm saying, he know what he talked about. She said that.
Peace. Can y'all hear me?
Turn to the glyphs. Yeah, we can hear you. Hold on one second. Turn to the glyph. Yeah.
Hey, how do y'all?
Yeah,
how do y'all make those avatars?
Oh my God.
Hold on one second, family. Plus, I don't know how to do that shit.
Who is that? Who that?
It's the solar.
The Solomon?
What's
Yeah.
up, Sola?
What's
Yo, what's
good,
going
man?
on?
Welcome back.
What's up? That's my nigga right
All
there.
of
nigga.
mine
Good,
back in
Solomon.
the
Hey, Sola.
building.
Hey, Solomon, what happened, Sola? What happened? What happened to you, Sola?
Good, baby.
Solomon say,
He was in the middle of making a point.
oh yeah, Sola know what I'm about to say. All right, the point is, what was the point?
Then I forgot. I don't know what you
Nigga, you weren't talking about nothing.
Damn.
Nigga wasn't talking about nothing. I said, hey, listen to
Never
y'all damn for damn near 5 minutes.
Hey, Chef, you had to bring me back, Chef. You had to bring me back, Chef. Bring me back, Chef. I know I was saying something, yo.
I don't know what
He
it
was
was.
saying that the expert was saying that Smash know how to read the glyphs.
Yeah, I got you. I'm back on that. You had to wake me up.
You putting niggas to sleep, man.
Sleep.
That
Nigga,
shit
you
you
ain't
talking.
lying, yo. Listen. All right, hold on. Let me get here before we had to get you. We're gonna get you tonight. We know you're gonna do something. We know.
Wait.
So yeah, but she was
Talk about that Setai 1. What's in that typical Setai 1? We're talking about the created white man.
The what? I don't know about that, man. Let me finish my point, man.
That's what it say. That's what it say in the book of the y'all laughing. I mean, I'm just going by what it said in the
All right, let me finish though. I'm locked in now. So
in Gerald Mancy's book.
Hold on with the expert Gerald Mancy. You like 50 years old. Okay, so listen.
Well, just because they're old,
100.
it's incorrect. You gotta act like because it was old, it's incorrect. That don't
That's
mean
100 years.
no.
Yeah, it's outdated.
It's
Yo, come
outdated.
on, man. Let me finish my
No,
point.
what you mean? Wait.
It is. Yo, don't nobody read Mancy.
Wait. People could, revisionist history. That means that somebody took history and they revised it, so the later stuff would be the wrong stuff.
How would you know?
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old it is.
That's the soul I know right there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
It doesn't like you just like it was like a dismissive statement. I got to challenge like you just dismiss. Oh yeah, it's outdated.
Can you hear me, yo?
Just because it's old doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Sola, can you hear me?
It's outdated.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Sola, can Sola hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Your mic kind of
What the
low.
hell? Why? Okay, I ain't trying to. Let me turn it up a little bit. Listen.
Yeah, you gotta turn it up, brother.
Your mic not low, yo. Your mic.
I know you just talking over me at this point. Listen, back to the expert. So we played a video and she listened to it, right? And it was a point in the video where Smash say, "Does anybody want to raise their hand and tell me what this is?" So she raised her hand. Oh, and she started rocking, yo. She was like, "Yeah, he know the grammar, right? He know the glyphs. Yep." And guess what she said? She said, "I even understand his logic." Yep. She said, "I respect his logic in that." Yeah. He said, "Yep, I see." And then she proceeded to say, "Well, in my class that I teach, right, we do an exercise where, because y'all asked me about the medical text, where we translate the medical text, right? And my students translate the medical text, and I'll ask them, why did you use that word right there for that?" And she starts to explain how, wait a minute, the Egyptians wouldn't know nothing about that. You can't use that word or this right. That's I'm saying.
That part.
Let me finish. She said the exercise is for them, right, to look at their translations, yo, and make them make sense, yo. Right? That's right. And they discuss it. So she said, "I'm not discounting anything." She said, "There's no precedence for what he's saying. There's no evidence for what he's saying." Yep. The shit was serious the way she did. Then I said, but what about direct evidence for the Kim? She was like, what do you mean by direct evidence? I say, oh shit, the conscious community got me in trouble. She started beating me up. You know what I'm saying? But what do you need for direct evidence? I was like, oh man.
Oh,
Yo,
she said, I see direct. He said, I do see direct evidence.
Yeah, she went, damn, what do you mean? What's your definition of direct evidence? I was like, oh shit. Listen, I wanted to say that's not my thing. That's smashing them things.
You felt like you felt like you stepped in a pile of shit, ain't it?
I did, yo, and I'm saying, and I didn't tell her that me and Smash been going back and forth. I
smoking blunt in class, Gunner.
Go ahead.
You can't smoke blunt in class, Gunner.
Smoking in class.
You can't smoke in class because I ain't tripping.
So did she?
It's a cigarette.
It's a cigarette. Did she show any of her direct evidence?
I can't smoke a cigarette in class.
Yeah, he said cigarette.
I'm joking.
Like that's,
you're not really in class, Gunner. Come on.
You can't smoke a cigarette in class, bro.
It's a joke, family. It's not really in class.
Imagine you in class smoking a cigarette. What type of thing is that, bro?
Yeah. I know.
Hey, Ghana. Hold on. Hey, Ghana.
Hey, Sola, he questioned it too.
Hey, Ghana,
you said can't smoke a cigarette in class?
He said it's a cigarette. Like that was something that's acceptable, you know.
Yo, hey, hold on for a minute, yo. Hold on for a minute, yo. Hold on.
Go ahead, on.
Hold on for a minute. Hey, Ghana, you said what though, yo? You know where I live at. That's what you said to me, yo.
What you mean by that, bro? Yeah, we live in the same state. We live in the same state.
So what that mean? So what that mean, though? What you talking about, though, yo?
Don't. You gonna be direct? Be direct. Don't be a punk.
So I'm being direct, nigga. So what you talking about?
What you trying to say? What you trying to say?
Nigga, I'm saying
I'm in Georgia like you. What you trying to say?
That's what I'm
saying. What you trying to
say? That's what I'm saying.
Bobby,
right here, nigga.
Nah, let's move on from that, man.
Nigga, now what? What you
That's
saying?
He's already gone.
Yeah,
Man.
nigga, all right, nigga, be about that, though, yo.
Having that conversation.
And make sure you don't got no job, nigga. Make sure you don't got to go to work, nigga. Make sure you're a street, nigga. Make sure that, yo.
Weed in class,
live the house to house, nigga.
Leave that nigga alone.
House to house.
Leave that nigga alone. He's smoking weed in class, bro.
Come on, why you even, you know what I'm saying? Like,
don't tell me
you're OG, bro. Why you...
The nigga put a message in the thing. See, y'all don't know, yo. Yo, I know where you live at. What you talking about?
He probably doesn't. I don't think he knows.
Yo. Yeah, you know how that shit is, man.
I'm in Georgia, yo.
We live nigga smoking weed in class, like that nigga might not have much to lose. Leave that nigga alone.
Leave him alone, man.
I'm gonna leave him alone, Bill. But I
he ain't got much to lose, huh?
Yeah,
he ain't got much to lose. He coming for your ass, that nigga ain't got nothing to lose, bro.
I had to
coming for your ass, nigga.
Yeah. You ready to die about this Black Egyptian? You ready to die about this?
Crazy, yo.
I stand on business. I stand on business. They were black like the cow.
Can I be heard?
Let me talk. My point was that, my point at the end of the day is that she had an appreciation, brother's ability to read the glyphs. But the point was, we need some sentences where we can actually put in this proper context. All the shit we've been saying, yo. And she was lethal with her approach. And she brought up Diop's and them. She absolutely did that. I didn't.
Yeah, she said she had to write a paper on that.
Movement.
She said they had to write a paper.
Had to write a paper. Yeah, so you wasn't slipping past them.
They know how niggas do.
Sure,
they said y'all gotta study these niggas because these niggas gonna be a problem when you get out of here.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, and she gave him credit for what they did do. The part I didn't understand was, how is it that this lady, an expert, actually understands what the option did and what they added to the field, and people that claim to love Diop don't know nothing. I be in a conversation with dudes that don't know what Diop actually did, yo. And this lady come forth and explain exactly what they did and how they was respected and what they couldn't do and what they didn't do. Makes no sense, yo. See, that's an alarm for me, yo.
Unc, I need to respectfully disagree because they honor.
So you would just cut me off with that. That's how you dove in and cut me off. I'm gonna let you go though. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I think they love Diop so much they found out that they could do the melanin test. What you talking about? That's pure love right there. They love Diop. Stop.
Yeah, Star put in this book. Star pseudorized his book with that.
I ain't seen it yet. I gotta see
it.
But Solomon,
I saw you did
that motherfucker Solomon.
So you against the teachings of Sheikh Anti-Diop?
Yeah, hold on. We gotta properly introduce my nigga Solomon, man. Man, what's good, family?
What's going on? What's going on? Peace.
Much,
you know, Uncle K, he on some funny time. You know, it's all good.
Coming to the stage, man. They got the one and only Solomon, man. Go ahead, rock out, man. Go ahead, rock out.
No, I'm just trying to see what y'all talking about, man. Because you know, I mean, I'm glancing. I've been checking y'all out. You know, I mean, in the clouds, and Sosa. You know, I know you from way back. Way back in the day, I used to smack you up on my channel.
So you say,
hey, Solomon.
What's good?
It's Ngozi, bro. How you doing?
Peace. What's going on, Ngozi?
What's up, man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, chilling.
Long time no here, man. I used to beat you up. Used to beat up Lex Vortex, all y'all, bro. What's happening, man? What's
I don't
going
know
on?
about that. I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
I know you knew them damn haplotypes. I know you knew them damn
Hey,
haplotypes.
you remember remember a long time ago we had a debate, bro, and it never went public. And I was killing you. You talked about homo heterobigansis.
I remember that debate. I remember that debate.
It's good hearing you, my brother. It's good hearing you.
No, he was spitting all these damn haplotypes out. You got Bobby Banger in the background just being a distraction. I got double teamed on that debate, man.
It's all good, man. Well, it's good to hear from you, though, bro. It ain't, it's good to hear from a lot of the people, man. A lot of y'all disappeared, coming back and forth.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing going on, man. Ain't nothing going on with y'all, man. Y'all just like,
Well, I will say
y'all became tentacles of the damn white man. I'm seeing
I would say this though. I want to ask you, Solomon. You're a very intelligent person. I know this for a fact. I talked to you in the past. I want to ask you this though. If Joe method of the melanin dosage test was right, do you think that the melanin dosage test determines Africanness? Because for example, if we get an Arab, right, from Yemen or Socotra Island that's extremely dark, and we understand melanin and what it is, and then you take the same test with somebody from the continent, does that make them African? Wouldn't the results still come out the same regarding the pigmentation levels?
Yep.
So Job didn't really prove shit. If Ramesses II had, I'm just saying, I'm just talking to the public right now. So if the melanin dosage test was a fact, if Ramesses II, who came from the north of Egypt, his family, Seti or wherever Varus, before they settled in upper zones, right? If he was brown and they took that test, the results would come out like any other darker brown skinned person. That doesn't determine him as being African. Do you think so?
Well, that would be one of the evidences of pointing us in that direction. I mean, you could go not only using that, but you got to go to the time that he existed, who was in that area at the time, and things of that nature to kind of tie that all in.
But according to the history, Seti the First, who was Ramesses II father, family came from the north, and they were highly part of the people that was in the Varus area who was highly Asiatic or Eurasian. And even in one of Dr. Anti's books,
so were they did they have high levels of melanin?
I mean, a lot of Eurasians can have high levels of melanin. You have people in Socotra Island, south of Yemen, or people in Yemen, or some Arabs in Medina who is just as dark as you. But genetically, they're bound to West Asia. They're not bound to Africa. See, look, this is what I'm trying to say. The racist thing is saying that people are black because they have a certain skin type. That's racist because white man taught us that everything that's dark is you. Just for example, when we look at the Amazonian tribes in South America, those that live in Brazil, and we see big nose and big lips. And then we look at the monuments that was in Mexico 3,000 years ago that we banner Olmecs. We say big nose and big lips equate to Negroid. That's a racist way of thinking. That's very racist. Big lips and big nose should not equate to the idea of what's black, and dark skin should not even just be able to be should not equate to what's black. That's very racist in our mind state. You see what I'm saying? Because a dark-skinned man from Yemen or a dark-skinned man from Arabia,
I mean, we could try to redefine, with the anthropologists. We know ultimately that they made these classifications based off of ideas of race. But I mean, why are we trying to change them now? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because we have to, bro. We live in
the reason why I'm bringing that up is because once they laid the foundation, this is a science that this beast came up with. So he classified Negroid, Arstroid, like he gave this classification. So it's only going to cause confusion to try to redefine things at this point in time.
But those terms today in a real field of anthropology and in the field of biology is outdated. Caucasoid,
it ain't outdated.
Nobody uses them.
It's needed. It's needed.
The only time you may hear the terms in forensic science, right? Like when you deal with the term in forensic science and you start to look at certain things, you might hear Caucasoid, but that's not enough to determine the separateness of the idea of race.
So the same thing they use to deny us. The same thing they use to deny us, we can't use it back to prove them wrong.
Exactly. But that brother right there, no, where I'm going with it.
But listen to what I'm trying to say though. The idea of race or races does not exist.
They said people that
we get that theory, but see, understand, right, that when they came up with these terms, it was for a specific reason. So those terms are now being used to say, okay, well, if you're saying that this is black, that means that this person was black.
Well,
so now they say, well, now they're going to say,
right.
Now they're going to say, well, race don't matter, and that's outdated. That's no different. That's no different than what these beasts do in terms of economics. In terms of all the areas of human activity. When a black person says, when a black person comes back and says that, if we're talking about race, race don't matter. It don't matter when we doing our thing.
Right.
And it's colorblind when we're doing our damn thing.
No.
But they use it to kill us. They use it to destroy our character.
Solomon, here's the thing.
I see what he's saying though, Ngozi.
I get what he's saying, but listen though, on a political banner, race
you
is real.
See what he's saying?
Hold on, listen.
You see what I'm saying, Bobby?
Listen.
I don't see what you're saying.
Listen. And a political aspect,
and James Carl, you gotta apologize to Bobby too, man. We can't be doing that, man.
What the fuck, man?
In a political aspect, the taxons they use to label groups or brackets in the sense of black, white, and all that, yes. Politically, race does exist in a social construct model. That's the society that we live in. But in real fields of biology, in real fields of anthropology, that shit don't stand. It doesn't stand. There is no such thing.
Well, in early anthropology, that is the terms that they use.
No. In early anthropology, when they was looking at populations, we got to look at who created the coin Caucasoid and Caucasian, and why did he say this? Or Negroid, when he was labeling these different things. Before the whole model of evolution was even figured out in the way we understand it now, some people believed in the earlier phases, the multi-regional theory, where Homo sapiens developed in multiple spots. Not to mention later on, they had these taxons that was used.
What do you mean multiple spots?
What I'm saying is, at one time and period, they believed that humans developed in more than one spot.
Theory.
And
that they developed independently in Africa, in Asia, Europe.
Nobody believes that. That's make believe.
Bro, no.
That's make believe.
Of course, you make believe. Listen. We realize that now. And at one time period, they believe that man developed in Asia. Then they had one fossil that they found that was fraudulent.
That was based on biblical bullshit. That's why they thought it was Asia. They thought it was Asia based on the biblical narrative.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. It's like you not. It's like I don't know what's going on, bro. You're very violent and you get real hostile. I don't even know why you do all that.
I'm not violent. No,
bro.
He's high as hell, man. James, just chill, man. Just chill.
Listen, I'm speaking like you're speaking.
Just let her get it off. Just pause one at a time,
bro. You just got violent when Unc telling him where he live at. That shit not called for on here. That's stupid.
That's why I was saying you gotta apologize.
It don't even make sense.
Bobby, bro. That was a little crazy.
Before we figured out the human genome and other things, people in earlier times in anthropology had a whole lot of weird, stupid terms and stupid theories, right? Now we mapped out the human genome. Now we can go further in what Charles Darwin was saying to give us a better understanding of what he said, which proved this case as being right. Then when we mapped out the human genome, that even made the human migratory route and the human understanding of, for one thing, we only deal with sex chromosome and haplogroups to figure out diseases and how it functions in certain groups of people, not outside of that. So here's the thing. It put a full spectrum and full understanding the human migratory route and understanding the full evolutionary model. So what I'm saying is if you study early anthropology, in the later 1700s and earlier times, they had weird theories and weird narratives of what they were saying. before we went further into it. So what I'm saying is for you to say that that's biblical, a lot of those early anthropologists in earlier time periods, they were Christians and shit. Did you know that? Did you know that?
And
but the first thing that you say though, King, is you're wrong, and it's like you don't want to hear nobody. We all listen, you, me, all of us on here is trying to figure things out. There's no right and wrongs, bro. We ain't got to do all that and we get violent and hostile. Let's listen to one another, bro. That's it. Just listen. That's all we got to do, bro.
Yeah, and I know we ain't Gozi for a time. He came a long way. You came a long way, brother, because you used to wow the fuck out, bro. You came a long way, brother.
Look, King, my birthday.
And Gozi, you know, he's the ambassador of peace on here. It's definitely 2024.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
What Fontaine with the avatar?
My birthday was on the 16th.
Yeah, I finally got it together.
Hey, bro, my birthday was on the 16th. I just turned 38. I don't got time to be,
I use my iPhone.
So you were Aries?
Yeah, I'm an Aries, bro.
I'm Aries too. I was on the 10th.
Oh, okay, yes, sir. So
stars align up, the melanin childs will come down.
but all I'm saying is that melanin Zosa's chest, if we go further and understand, that doesn't determine it. You got Arabs that's darker than you and me. People in India that's darker than you and me.
Yeah.
And if we use, I mean,
don't they have an African origin though?
Can I make a point here that they actually knew and understood already how with spectrometry to measure and quantify the amount of melanin in skin. It was already an established technique. We knew exactly in which layer of the epithelial cells you would find it. Furthermore, what we're saying, you cannot conduct a quantitative analysis and identify any particular group because it's going to give you just simply X amount of melanin. It's not going to give you any more information. So they could have never been used.
Absolutely.
Let me ask him again. Let me ask you again, stole your mind. What did you mean about whenever we want to call ourselves black, they trying to get this? What you say? What was the statement you was making?
No, I was saying that, you know, these terms was not created by us.
Okay.
So we're just going off the terms that was created when the field first began to develop. So
I agree.
So when somebody used the term now to prove that, well, if we're going by these terms, then that would mean that these people were quote unquote black or African. They want to now cloud the issue by saying, well, okay, well, we're not going to use these terms anymore. It's kind of like they're kind of shuffling. They did that to the brother. What's the brother name that used to show the pictures? He wrote a couple of the books. I forget what the brother's name is.
Runoko Rashidi.
They did that. They did that to Runoko Rashidi. Y'all created these terms. Y'all created these terms, and y'all the one that did. So now, when people say, "Okay, if we're going to use these terms," then that means that he's black. And then no. That's not what that means. So they use these terms once again. The white man is the science of the pen. He writes himself into history, and he used his textbooks and his academia to.
Do y'all see that James is having a whole conversation?
I see his lips. I see his lips. Somebody put that nigga on black ice, bro.
Yo, this is crazy.
He going in.
That was in the drum. Yo, what he's saying right now will save black people, bro. And we missing all that.
Let me say this though. Hold on. Let me respond to what you. Let me respond to what you just said.
He's giving us the keys to life right now, and we missing all.
Hold on, yo. Let me respond to what you just said. All right. So the first point is that's like a 1954 speech you just gave us, right?
So, I mean, what's the purpose of like?
Let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah, because what you're talking about, nobody even follows that. And if you follow that foolery, yo, you get marked as one of racist, right? Two is a pseudoscientist. So they're not doing that. And so, for instance, you said they made up the word. You talking about the issue is they made up it's a racialized word.
But it was
That's
science then.
No, okay, right,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
so that's the foundation of what you're studying.
Hold on, you gotta
now.
let me talk, yo. I can't fight the talk, yo. Let me get it out. I was very quiet. It never was science. It was pseudoscience, bro. It was pseudoscience then, and it was pseudoscience then, and now, and it's always been pseudoscience. It never was science. Never was it, right? And they enslaved thousands of people. They added on to the comfortabilities of white people and was like, yeah. They felt, they was like, okay, if the science world agrees with it, then we cool. But it wasn't science. It was pseudoscience. That's real. So why do we continue to use a racialized term, yo, when we're going to talk about indigenous population? Now, if you so choose, your family been through the strain of colonialism and all that, I can see why we would fight for our blackness, yo, because blackness means something totally different than it meant in the ancient world. And those people that was in Africa, totally different ideas and concepts, bro, separated by time and space. So the point I want to make here is that you're making all of that up, bro. That's not really what that was. And yet they also gave us scientific terms. You can say, well, why we found those terms? Because if I was to give you 2 automobiles, right, with wheels on it and all that, and I decide to name it an automobile, you say, yo, I don't like the automobile term. I want to name it something else. I want to name it in an African name. That'd be cool. But at the end of the day, them damn automobiles are still going to be automobiles. So no matter what you classify Homo sapiens sapien as, right? No matter what you classify the rest of the animals at, what section, what that, Homo sapien, Homo habilis, you can change all the names of African names, and they're still going to fit in the same categories because it ain't based off the name. It's based off the biology of it. It's based off the skull morphology. It's based off whether it's a fish or not. It's based off whether it's a mammal or not. A mammal's going to be a mammal no matter what name you call it. A mammal's going to have breasts, right? Milk, going to have a fetus is born with an umbilical cord. That's what makes you a mammal, not the fact that you call it a mammal, bro. So my point is, yo, niggas ain't really getting it, yo. I can't make people get it. I can't make you understand racialized terms and what that actually means, bro. Yeah, black people is a racialized term. Guess what? White people is a racialized term.
Yep.
This is. I'll stop right there.
And there were black people before
you
there were
saying,
white people. Imagine that.
You said it was never science. It was.
Yeah, it was.
These were people that were classified to be the anthropologists of that time, and they the ones that created those terms. So if we're going back to that time, you're looking at it hindsight.
Why would we?
But if you go back into that time, those were the scientists of that time.
No, it's pseudoscience.
Okay,
why would you go back to that time?
But being a scientist doesn't mean you can't have pseudoscientific information.
So you said
you was going
why do we
into
use racialized terms? Because they the one that started using the racialized terms. They the ones that did the classifications, and they the ones that defined.
Go back to your mistake. Go back to your mistake. You was making a point. You got derailed a little bit. You were saying that, first of all, you said it was science. I'm saying no, it wasn't, because you had people back at that time that didn't agree with that. You know, like Charles Darwin. They did not agree with that, bro. Just for the record.
You said Charles Darwin didn't agree with what?
He didn't agree with that pseudoscience, that it was 30 races and 25 races and all that. He didn't agree with that. He's one of the first, not the first, but one of the first that said it's just one race, that's the human race. And variations within that race. That's what that man said.
Well,
he was the first one to purport
he used those terms. He used those terms in his writings. You know that, right?
Nah.
Yes, he used those terms of savage races.
And here we go.
I ain't doing
races. It was the nomenclature.
He used those terms. He used the terms of.
But why are we engaging in a conversation about pseudoscience when it's far been established they were wrong? That pseudoscience.
But the same people that's telling you that is wrong is the ones that told you it was right a generation.
It was the data. No, it was the data that told us that was wrong.
The data that they're defining. The data that they're defining.
No. It was actually the data. No, it was actually the data, though. No matter who wrote it. It could have been a Chinese hanging out in the county.
You could go ahead and think that everything is just this neutral thing when they're doing their studies, and that's where you fell at, brother.
No,
what about the non-white scientists?
That's why the scientific process goes through the ringers to eliminate your personal bias, peer review, etc., etc. They understand.
It was peer review articles that was talking about the Piltdown man.
Yeah, they made mistakes, bro.
So they okay. We dismissed certain shit, but then we want to add certain stuff.
No, that was the pseudoscientific file. We agree the Piltdown man was pseudoscientific, yo.
Yeah, but that was in a peer review article.
No. I want to make a good point that most people don't know, yo. That actually, when the fine came out, the Piltdown man came out. It was an article published in the Journal of Nature. I got it, and it was in, I believe, 1901 or 1913 or 1912. That was against that. That was vehemently against that. They talked about the mantle. They said this appears to be a gorilla mantle, right, and a human head, bro. So science was already on the case, bro. Yeah, jawbone, mantle's jawbone. Yeah,
they was on the case, huh?
Yeah,
bro.
That's not a science. We're not saying science never made no mistake.
Bro.
Yeah, we're not saying science never made no mistake.
Expose it. It took them damn near 40 years to expose that.
Do you have a better way to?
Yeah, it did. It took them 40 years to expose that.
Do you have a better way to expose the information?
Pull up than
using science. Do you have a better method to use other than science to verify the information?
The social where we got the black boys. So when we get to contention, we go to the black boy on that thing. Right, y'all go ahead, keep building.
When people say that about science, they're like, "Oh, science got it wrong. Science got it wrong." Science never claims that everything they say is going to be accurate every single time. That's why it checks itself. But is there a better method we could use to verify the information being put out?
You're right. It took 41 years, so you're right on that. 41 years.
Yep. Talking to Solar Mind.
That doesn't mean you get it right. We ain't gonna do that, Solar Mind. You got that one.
What I'm saying though, what I'm saying is, you talking about you're trusting the science. Science is being done by people. It's being done and controlled and financed by organizations and corporations. This thing isn't just this colorblind thing that they're doing. So certain aspects of science you have to question. So you're saying like science, like it's just these racial neutral people that's just going into this thing and nah, bro, you gotta wake up, bro.
The Africans, the Asians, the Indians, the Europeans, the whole world that is engaging in science is engaging in science based on trying to perpetrate some European or Caucasian agenda. So gravity isn't gravity wherever you measure it on this planet.
Now, what are you talking about gravity? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
He means basically if you measure gravity in America and then measure gravity or the effects of gravity over in Asia, it's going to be the same regardless of the race of people measuring it.
Thank you.
Right. But we're talking about race and the ideas of how do you define race. And as what Ngozi was talking about, he said that pretty much things changed after the Human Genome Project. And that's what, in the 90s, they began the Human Genome Project?
Yeah, but not race. Race was never biological. It was always
right. That was a social construct.
Yeah, it's not a science.
Right. But in terms of understanding the different haplotypes and the people that was involved in the Human Genome Project were racist.
No, we don't know that. I'm sure that.
No, we do know that. You're talking to Solar Mind.
Which one of them? Because there was a lot of people involved.
Yeah, it was a lot of people involved, but you're talking about the people that was running it. Francis Crick.
But even though it's emotion.
No, James Watson. James Watson was a part of the Human Genome Project.
So what about the people now that
it's done across different backgrounds or all across? It's a national. So it has to be verified in different places by different scientists. So one person ain't just the authority. It has to be verified over here, verified over there.
Well, do you know who James Watson is?
Well, no, but I mean, he can be racist, but that still wouldn't change the fact because he's not.
You gotta first know who James Watson is, and then you'll know the significance of why I use that particular person.
No,
you tell.
It doesn't make a difference to me. It's like telling me Darwin.
No, he got us in the corner, and now he got to tell us.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up. Yeah, because like I said, you could tell me that Charles Darwin was racist.
We never heard of James Watson. Now you got to show us why his participation in the Genome Project meted out racist data.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up.
Well, he was one of the ones that mapped out the double helix. So molecular he's like the father of molecular biology.
So what do you use it to make him racist? So let's at least get
Well, you just simply read his statements.
Now he can be racist. Is his data racist?
Yeah. So what is the statement? We can look at a statement too, though. It doesn't matter. But like I said, you could tell me Charles Darwin's racist, and I would still be like, so what? It doesn't change. It doesn't change evolution. Yeah, it doesn't change evolution. Evolution does the same. So what do you want me to go to? Like, where are you finding this? I'm on Wiki. Where do I go to see his statements? Here's him in the Human Genome Project, 1990. He was appointed head of the Human Genome Project, National Institute of Health. Position held until 1992. Watson left the Genome Project after conflict with the new NIH director, Bernardine Healy. Watson was opposed to Healy's attempts to acquire patents on gene sequences and ownership of the laws of nature. So he was there. So he left in 92. He left the Human Genome Project in 92.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it wasn't fully mapped until like early 2000s.
Well, they didn't finish the project until maybe like 2002, I believe.
It was 2004.
Yeah, 2003.
12 years later.
That's 12 years later, so he's already gone.
Yeah, but he was one of the head researchers or the head organizers of the Human Genomic Project, is what I was saying.
But he left, and 12 years later it was done. So what's the point? And
he designed. He the one that helped design the whole project. They just was doing the research at that point. It took them 12 years to get the DNA samples from all the various groups of people around the world. So that was a 10-year project.
Yeah. So everybody that worked around that project wasn't smart enough to catch the racism?
No, what I'm saying is that the DNA aspect could be science, but the political aspect is what you got to deal with.
So let me get this straight. So he did the Genome Project. Hold on. He did the Genome Project just for the people who actually did the work to come out and say that there is no race.
Now, what are you saying?
We got it right here. This might be your controversy.
Race don't exist biologically.
He says,
yeah, but we live in
these are statements from James Watson.
99.99%.
These are some statements from James Watson. He says, inherently.
I got it right here. Go ahead. Oh, you got something?
Inherently gloomy about the prospect of Africa because all our social policies are based on the fact that their intelligence is as the same as ours. So he's saying, according to politics, you're suggesting that we have the same form of intelligence, and ours is very telling. Whereas all the testing says not really. So according to your scientists, he's saying that, okay, well, according to politics, you're saying that we're equal, but according to his tests, he's saying not really. What do you have to say about that?
The result
I think this is yeah. So we can go to let's read the whole thing. But this, and he says in 2000, like I said, but at this time he's not on Human Genome Project. So now we're in a different, and he didn't create the Human Genome Project.
But he's talking about according to the test. What test is he doing?
He's talking about the bell curve test, the IQ test that came out. That's what he's talking about.
Meaningless when you live in a racist society.
Right. So he was trying to say that because that the IQ test that came out that was saying that different populations, basically black and white people have different IQs. That's what he was saying. So that was a racial statement. But I mean, it was a racist.
That don't matter.
But it's based on an IQ test. But separate from the human genome. But we can address that though. Like I said, I can agree that some people are racist. Some scientists are racist. Doesn't matter. It's about the science. Is the science accurate or not? Like, I don't care if Darwin was racist or not. Evolution is a theory of fact. Whether he was racist.
He has another interesting statement that I think y'all should be aware of.
I can read it. Talking about the sex drive. Want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it, brother.
I'll read it. At a conference in 2000, Washington suggested a link between skin color and sex drive, hypothesizing that dark-skinned people have stronger libidos. This lecture argued that extracts of melanin, which gives skin its color, have been found to boost subject sex drive. That's why you have Latin lovers, he said. According to people who attend the lecture, you've never heard of an English lover, only an English patient. He also said that stereotypes associated with racial and ethnic groups have a genetic basis. Jews being intelligent, Chinese being intelligent.
A genetic basis.
Yeah, understand. This is his hypothesis. So we can
right. The person that designed the human genome.
He didn't design it. He was appointed at the head. He's
appointed at the head of the
Human Genome
Project.
He was the
head of the Human Genome Project. The head of the Human Genome Project says that there is a genetic foundation.
And he left.
Intelligence.
Yeah, we're gonna have this solar, and he left 12 years before. So let's go. Let's keep reading. Genetic basis: Jews being intelligent, Chinese being intelligent but not created because of selection for conformity, and Indians being servile because of selection under caste endogamy. Regarding intelligence, difference between blacks and whites, Washington asserted that all our social policies are based on the fact that blacks' intelligence is the same as ours whites, whereas all our testing say not really. People who have to deal with black employees find it's not true. So that's and
just a little bit on this individual. James Watson, he's a molecular biologist, a geneticist, and a zoologist. So when you're saying geneticist, you're talking about a modern day eugenicist.
Oh man.
So this is why he has these views.
Yeah, these views because we just have different ideas, bro.
Just had different ideas. Okay, brother.
You know what I'm saying? But that's
brother.
He's not the first. He's not the first.
But it's very telling that this man was the organizer behind the Human Genome Project. He was the head of the Human Genome Project.
Did he demonstrate it though? I mean, he said it, right? So what if he demonstrated it? Would it be true? If he demonstrated it, would it be incorrect because he was racist, or would it be true because the test is accurate?
Trust that this white man is not being racist when he's doing his research.
That's somebody else.
You trust that?
But he's not going to go behind it. Somebody else is going to go behind him and verify it. He doesn't get the final say.
In honest.
Okay, we trust that he's not the only one that's going to be making a statement.
He don't get the final say.
He's doing the genetic research. He's the one that's the head of these. He's the one that's the head of these projects that you so clean going to, brother.
Then if that's the case, then how would it come up? Then how did it come up to say that they ain't no damn race? Then what's the point?
Because we live in a society. See.
Okay.
Understand how this thing works, right? Today, he don't have to be outward racist. He's maintaining white supremacy. So it would be problematic to come up with these scientific racial terms as what he did a generation ago. It's just basic logic. When I'm in control and got niggas like you that's asleep, why would I wake them up with outward racial terms? Well, what I would do is say there is no race. As I study further the difference between myself and
he was long gone, bro.
All right.
So what's your point?
He actually believed that what it was.
This is common sense.
Right.
But since you niggas are so educated,
it ain't common sense. Your mind leads you to say.
Yo, what up?
Because you're trying to make a confirmation bias statement.
Nah, he's telling you because you live in a society that's like that. It's already
Yeah, nobody.
Oh no! Now you're trying to tell the people that's oppressed and being affected by the racism they don't exist. What do you mean it don't exist?
So the minute you see a racist, person at the head of NBA game,
the people across the world, we in a position that we're telling the people like Darwin, because of people like Darwin who were considered scientists, who were considered so reputable.
That's the fundamental flaw. You're saying
they made claims that these other people they made it real. It made it like in a dictionary.
Crazy
like,
in itself, bro. You just running your mouth. You're not making
that's
any
what they did. No, that's
they are telling
they
us
used their
anything.
scientists, man. They made it official. Because imagine if science said it today. If science said something new today, you'll believe it, right? Science said that then. Science said that then when
Diane, you gotta say something, take a pause, and then
science said black people was science said that. Yo, why you know what I'm saying? But when it's time for me to talk, it's always to do the same.
Let him get it out.
Nigga, you cut me off. I was fucking talking.
Listen, man. When
you forgot that?
So when am I get a chance to talk?
You've been talking.
When am I get a chance to talk,
bro?
I ain't cut you off.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Cut you off. I ain't cut you off, but go ahead.
Yes, you did.
You've been the only
go ahead.
one.
I ain't do that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I was speaking and you jumped in. So yes, you did.
Make a statement, Gideon.
I did make my statement.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Gideon.
I forgot.
I got another thing I want to.
Because he jumped in and cut me the fuck off.
My fault. Yes,
let him go. Like one of y'all gotta go, man. I don't want both of y'all talking. Listen, I don't want both of y'all talking at the same time and cursing. So I want to get one of y'all to go at the same time.
Go ahead, Ghana.
Right. Okay, thank you. So yeah, all right. I appreciate it. So I'm just saying, man, you know what I'm saying? We had lived in a society, you know what I'm saying, especially over the last few hundred years, in a society that have used fake scientists, pseudoscience, and all kind of bullshit to say that because people that look like us cannot accomplish anything, that we ignorant and we have no chance to have a civilization. What we do as scholars, we just go back and show them with proof. You know what I'm saying? We go back and show them with places like ancient Kemet and all that definitely people just like us had societies like this way before they even was formed, way before they even formed as a people. They cannot pretend. We are from a people that have been on this planet for over 300,000 years. They cannot.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Scientifically documented, but let me finish talking.
How do you know?
So that's what I'm talking about.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
Allow that brother to teach.
Let me finish talking. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
we gotta put a time limit, bro. There gotta be a time limit. Go ahead.
You gotta have a clock in your head, though, Ghana.
As Homo sapiens for over 300,000 years, and we have been black people on this planet for over 300,000 years. And then y'all want to pretend and question a people that have possibly been around for maybe 5,000 years. Maybe they created him. Maybe not the people who've been around with DNA, with knowledge and information that run back for 300,000 years. Maybe they're not the ones that created ancient Kemet. Maybe the people that just fuck around and popped up maybe 5,000 years ago. Y'all saying they did it. Y'all saying they were with us. There's no.
All right. Pause for a second, bro.
All right, Ghana.
Pause for a second.
Get your point. We get your point.
If you understood human genetics, if you understand human genetics, you understand
you gotta take a pause, bro.
Hold on, Ghana. We get your point,
bro. You gotta take a breath.
Learn, growing.
We're just taking a breath, bro.
So when you see a civilization, you have to think. You have to think.
Ghana, man.
This comes from the people who have been around.
Ghana,
man, what you eat? Chicken bite, bro?
We heard you.
No, I didn't even get
now let me ask you a question. Now let me ask you a question.
Now let me ask you a question. Ask me a question.
You know, humans have been here for 300,000 years.
How do I know that Homo sapiens have been here for over 300,000 years? Because scientific information tell me that, man.
Hold on, but they're racist, bro. Why do you believe?
I didn't know. No, don't try to throw up.
Why do you believe these racist white people that you never 300,000 years?
No, I never said you can't trust that because they're racist. I never said that. I never said anything like that, so don't try to use it against me. Now ask me a real question.
But you agree.
So you disagree with Sosa that the dude at the head of the genome shit? Because
Yeah, that's how you know that, bro.
Listen, I believe in genetics. I believe in genetics. I believe in
well, separate. Well, get out the car with. Well, separate yourself from Solar. Then get out the car.
So okay. So don't get it twisted with that.
But
But
trying to divide and conquer, man. Don't let them do that shit, man.
Get out the car with Soul. Get out the car with.
Listen, but I understood where he's coming from on certain things, so I'm rolling with him on certain things.
Yeah, no, we don't roll with niggas. You guys.
But like I said, but it's funny that when it comes time to talk, it's really hard for me to talk every time, every single time. It just doesn't matter.
I mean, Gunner, you go for a long time.
No, I don't. I don't.
And you talk fast as hell, and you go for a long time.
Fast. I had to talk fast because I always get cut off every show for years.
You ain't been on Social World. You ain't been on Social World a lot. But I try to let you rock.
We're getting talked over.
Tell you something about yourself.
I'm getting talked over. Even if you thought I was pseudo weak, because I've watched all these shows and they had people talk.
No, I just think you're pseudo. I don't think you're weak.
Say all that. You can do all that, but you won't sit here and try to talk with me and really let me speak.
Try, my nigga.
You can say that.
You know what other people say. I think you just want to talk. I don't think you want to understand what nobody's saying.
You don't not trying to let no one else speak.
You don't try to get your point out.
I hear you, bro. I try to talk.
I take on anybody and I take on everybody.
We can't take on nobody if they can't talk back, bro.
But
what I notice when it come to me,
okay, let's say you'll get it. Let's say you'll get it.
When I'm talking,
let's say you'll get it.
Hey, Ghana. Hey, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
That's what I'm talking
about. Hey, bro. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. I'm not into that. No.
You need.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be like y'all. I'm not trying to be somebody.
All right, so
you ain't got to be like nobody.
No, we saying you have a lot of views. We saying you have a lot of views, right? And if you want to be able to be really very exhaustive and get all of that off, you know what I mean, without being cut, because there's other people on the panel that want to speak also. You dig what I'm saying? So it do get kind of lengthy.
Hey, when you think I'm talking, how long do you think I spoke?
Oh, well,
just minute-wise.
About 5 minutes.
Well, I got something to
5 minutes.
Here,
I got... And now, how long has the show been on?
Fuck it.
How long has the show been on?
It's just that you go so long.
How long has the show been on?
You don't even allow.
Do you understand? People have forgot their thoughts
because been on.
Ghana. Let's move on.
Hold on. Let me explain this.
Let it go.
I gotta explain this.
Look at all the cognitive.
Let's move on.
Look at all the jumbo that happens every time I speak. Look at all the people talking. You see what I'm saying?
Chill for a second, James. Chill, bro. I won't say
this is the thing, bro. Talking
I got something I want to add to the conversation.
Chill out,
every single time, look, it's like a gang riot.
James, chill out, bro.
Because I got 5 minutes in a 2-hour show. A show that been on for hours.
Goddamn, mute James. All right, man, just chill for a second. Savior, man, what's on your mind, bro?
All right. So first off,
Jesus.
It's been a cool show. I appreciate the things that y'all been saying and how
I don't like it, but go ahead.
And not all of it, but some of the things y'all been saying is y'all been trying to help locate this construct called race or identity in ancient societies and how they looked at other people. And I appreciate that y'all not cutting corners. Some of y'all aren't, but there's some people up here cutting corners. Like you can't force science into that age because it wasn't science. So if you really want to get technical, somebody said it earlier, and I think somebody got mad. But the better way to start looking at the construction of this shit is through philosophy and theology. There was a theological side, and then there was philosophical aspects that lined up with the way these ancient Greeks, Romans, and Christians, and Jews, and others looked at people that weren't considered those identities. And once you start actually looking into that literature and seeing how they constructed this idea, then you won't be making these leaps and bounds, forcing the way we look at shit today on them.
Now, how do that stop white supremacists from taking them views that they have and using that same stuff against us? How you convince them to do what you're talking about?
Do what, bro? They say that they're African.
They're the ones you got to convince, not us. You don't got to convince us about race.
Nobody is saying that the
use it against us. It's the ones with the power to use it against us. It's not us that's powerless. It's not the powerless that you got to convince about race.
You're the one. You're powerless.
Like when I'm talking, it's like
powerless.
Hold on.
It's the ones that use it against us. Understand the
hold on a second, bro. Hold on a second.
That's why you're powerless.
It's the ones
hold on.
in power across the world that have used it to enslave us, that use it to cause oppression all around the world.
Still think you're
those
a slave.
ones that you got to
you still think you're.
Hold on, Savior. Let go get out. Hey, Chef, man, you got something you want to get up your chest, bro? I got a goddamn word the mute button. This is a real job.
I want to say something real quick. In terms, I want to respond to what the brother was just talking about.
Let the chef get it in, then you go to the chef. So
okay.
All right, so
it's not a fair conversation.
I've been here, so I understand both sides, and what we really have to do to make the conversation move forward, so we don't have all these contentions. It's like both sides is denying what the other side is saying. Solomon said something, I don't think it was all the way what I was trying to say, but he had alluded to the Europeans are the one who made up those racial classifications.
Right.
And in those racial classifications that was mainly physical features, right? They said people that had our physical features were less than, right?
I
agree. And we didn't create those civilizations. In turn, we turned around and tried to say, yes, the people that have our physical features, right, that y'all call black, right, were the progenitors of these civilizations. Now, when the white people turn around, because some people can prove, right, this is what we're thinking, that some people have proven that people with those physical characteristics did create these ancient civilizations. Now it seems like white people are saying that race don't exist. And it seems like, so how do we're trying to act like that these racial classifications wasn't used to say that we were less than. And now that we can prove that people with these physical features are on par with everybody else, now they're saying that race don't exist. So does that really put us back on par, or do it, continue to negate us?
How can we be the only? How can we the only be the only?
Hold on. Soda was next. Soda was next. Let Soda get it in. We got to go there. You go next. Okay. Go ahead, Soda.
Okay. The last brother that was talking, not the last one, but the one before him.
James. James.
No, the brother that was saying that,
me.
Yeah, Robertson. Yeah, he was making reference to the race, that these weren't, that it wasn't scientific back in those days. That it wasn't a science back then. What I'm saying is that you're looking at it in hindsight and saying that what they weren't practicing was science. But at that time, that was the apex of science at that time.
Yeah, their philosophy. I agree with you.
No, these were science. These were biologists that were making these statements.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they was.
Was not a biologist.
Alfred Polis was a German physician and biologist.
Was not a biologist.
Huh?
You're not biologists.
I'm quoting from a biologist.
Pliny was not a biologist.
No, I said I'm quoting right now.
Was not, but okay. But
I'm quoting right now the biologist.
Hippocrates, airs, waters, places. Have you read
I'm quoting the biologist right now that was during that time period.
Oh my God.
Alfred Polis was a German physician and biologist.
In the 1500s, 1600s?
Yeah, so that was the scientist of that time.
I'm not talking about in the 1600s. You see, you're in the wrong era.
What are you talking about?
Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Hold on. See, you're confused. And see, the people
I'm confused.
Hold on.
Yeah. You just told me that there was no biologist, and I'm quoting. I'm about to quote what a biologist saying. I was not talking saying no. It's not that time period.
I was not talking about in the 1600s.
What time period are you talking about? Just tell them, bro.
So I was talking about the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th centuries BC, where the Renaissance and the Enlightenment thinkers got their ideas from. You see, it did not just pop up in the Enlightenment era as you are thinking.
That has absolutely nothing to do with my point.
It absolutely does.
No, it doesn't.
Listen, bro. And I understand your passion because I had to get here too. But really,
you understand your passion.
Really, if you check out Airs, Waters, Places, if you check out, and you can Google it right now, just type in Airs, Waters, Places. And I guarantee you, after you read Airs, Waters, Places, it's going to make you say, what the hell else was these Greeks thinking about other peoples?
Yeah, I understand your passion. So
we could go past that, and we could
just and that's why you have to go back.
Bro.
Come on, let's Sola get it out. Let's Sola get it out. Let's Sola get it out.
Brother.
Yeah, bring up Airs, Waters, Places, please.
Just let Sola get it out.
Hold your horses, cowboy. Hold your guns back for a second.
I got all this shit.
You got all the guns ready.
I got
hold your guns back, brother.
I got a bunch of shit.
Hold on, Savior. Let him get it out. Let him get it out. Let him get it out. Go ahead,
so what I'm quoting right now is the biologists and the scientists
from the 1600s.
No, from the 20th century.
Oh shit.
Oh, 1900. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
21st. Go ahead.
Alfred Polis was a German physician and biologist.
I don't know about Alfred Polis.
He the one that coined the term. He the one that coined the term racial hygiene. So I could go on because I have a whole list of these people: Harry Laughlin, Charles Davenport. I could go on and quote from biologists, geneticists of the time.
Yeah, sure.
Physicians, zoologists. I could quote you about damn near 50 that were making racial terms in terms of genetics and in terms of ethnicity.
Yes, I got that.
Right. So don't say to me, wait. The point that I'm making is that at that time, these were your scientists.
And why aren't they saying it now?
A geneticist from which time?
I'm gonna tell you why they're not saying it. That's a good question. The brother asked a very good question. He said, why aren't they doing it at this time, right? Is a man by the name of Frederick Osborne. He was head of the Eugenics Society post
Why are we engaging in discussing?
Then let him go, Cedric. This is pocket.
Point. It is.
Let him get it in. You next, Cedric. You next. This is pocket. Let him get. This is what he do. Let's all do.
No, it ain't what he do.
No, he don't like to hear the truth.
You don't study this.
I understand his passion. I understand his passion. Go ahead.
You
understand your passion. So
he don't want to hear the truth. That's why.
Bro, you don't want to know. You don't want to get to the truth.
Savior, let him get it out, man. Savior, man. Y'all let Sola get to y'all, man. Just let him get it off.
No one's denying that.
Savior, let him get it off, bro. Don't let Sola get to y'all, man. Just go ahead, rock out, Sola. Go ahead, do you do.
Is it all good, Robinson? You know, is it
good? Good.
All right.
I understand, Savior. I understand your passion, bro.
Okay, well, the brother asked a very good question. He said, well, when did this thing change? Post-World War II, you had the head of the Eugenics Society, a man by the name of Frederick Osborne. And what he did was he began to make cosmetic changes to the American Eugenics Society. One being that they did not want to use the term eugenics. So this is a quote from him. It says, the younger Osborne was determined to continue the eugenics movement, but under the name of genetics. So when you see this transition from eugenic terms, like saying eugenics, they, at a point in time, post-World War II, because of what the atrocities that they committed on the so-called Jew in Nazi Germany, right? They did not feel that the term would be accepted by the public post-World War II. So this is where you have the advent of genetics. So these are the same individuals, but they just changed the name. He says, and I'm quoting, he says, in 1947, the remnant board of directors unanimously agreed the time was not right for aggressive eugenic propaganda. Instead, The American Eugenics Society continued quietly soliciting financial grants from such organizations as the Dodge Fund, Rockefeller Fund, Population Council, and Draper Fund, the purpose to proliferate genetics as a legitimate study of human heredity. So when you have the term genetics, understand that this is coming from the same board of eugenicists a generation or so ago. So this is where you have your transition period that you speak of. Why not now? Why are they not doing it now? Why are they saying, well, this is the human race? I'm giving you the exact transition period that this thing occurred. Frederick Osborne's colleagues, and I'm quoting, suggest that he redefined eugenics to include concerns with all conditions affecting the life prospects of new human beings at birth. This is a matter of strategy rather than ideology. I'm going to repeat that. This is a matter of strategy rather than ideology. What was the strategy? As what I said before, and they typed in the chat room like, oh, here we go with the conspiracy theories. So now I'm quoting the people that actually made this shift.
Yeah, I got
the strategy was it was not politically accepted to use the term no more. So we have to now use another term to replace it. So there is a hard form of power and it's a soft form of power. They're going to use the soft method at this point because it's not politically accepted. So this is why you have, as what you say, well, everybody's human. As they begin to further study the differences between us.
Yeah.
Because there are differences. And what James Watson, see, the reason why James Watson began to make those statements, because he fell out with the Human Genomics Project, and what he began to do, he was just being an asshole. What he was doing was revealing the truth behind what they were actually doing.
He just made that up. So
yeah, I did make that up.
Let me get set.
I made that shit up.
I'm glad you admitted it because that was very clear.
Let me get set. Go ahead, Cedric.
But all the other shit is real, goddammit.
I'm coming back to the chef. Based on what you were saying, Chef, the argument was this civilization in Egypt could not have been developed by indigenous Africans. It was based on people coming into Africa that helped develop this civilization,
right?
Which was the invading race theory. And that has been overturned by the science itself. Everyone understands that it is an indigenous African population that built that society. Now we are moving the goalposts back into the biology, where we're now saying they were proven that there are people that look like us.
Yes, that's what it is.
That confuses the whole argument again. They were indigenous Africans, which had phenotypes varying from light in the north to dark in the south. That's what the population was back in that day. So the claim that there was invaders or people from outside that was the origin of the civilization is completely off the table. Nobody talks about that anymore. But to go now and say, well, they want to deny race because that would make us less relevant to Kemet, then that argument is completely flawed. And it's putting us right back into the race conversation. It was never a race conversation where we're dealing with a scientific one.
It ain't about race.
It's always been about race.
Race is a social construct that didn't exist.
It's what causes the oppression around the world. What are you talking about? It's what people.
We're having a scientific conversation in determining the population. We're not having a social political conversation. We're
has
not
to do with
having a
every.
socio-political conversation,
No,
and you cannot make that
are you
category fallacy.
insane?
And I
You
wasn't
cannot.
done. I wasn't
Pause for
done.
a
So
second.
please,
Pause for a second.
let me
Every
just
time I try to
Let her
talk about
finish up. Then we gotta
that's
introduce
crazy.
Joel. We gotta introduce
That's crazy to
Mark.
say, man. No way a black person should say that. That's crazy.
wow. Anyway, that's your emotional rant. I'm not on that.
No,
So
that's
the point is, the
How
science.
is that emotional? What he just said?
Yeah. Let her get it out. Let her get it out. Come on, because I gotta get Joel. I gotta introduce
The
Joel.
point of the matter is, Chef, it is an African indigenous civilization. The misconception is that there is one way to be African, and that is a faulty premise to
not
which
a
never
misconception.
acquiesce.
People's promoting fucking white supremacy and black
I said
inferiority.
emotional.
It's not
I
a
said emotional.
they
There
don't
you
care
go.
about
I
facts.
rest my.
They don't.
I yield
Joe,
the floor.
we're going for asking Marcus to pull up first. Marcus, what's going on, man? Peace to you, bro.
Hey, Sosa, drop the link down. I think somebody wants to get on.
All right.
Redrop the link.
Peace.
I got you.
Peace, everyone. Nah, I was just getting on because it was getting a little out of control. I'm just jump back down.
All right, for sure. Joel, man.
You know what I mean?
Peace to my brothers, man. What's up with y'all on here tonight?
Hold on.
Go back and look. You're gonna see how few minutes I got to talk freely, but whatever.
Y'all was kicking it on here.
Hold on,
man.
Joel. Let Marcus get out. Let Marcus finish up.
My bad.
While they make some valid concerns about eugenics, that wasn't the whole of science. And so I think it's kind of disingenuous to take a group of scientists who had some wild ideas and implicate that all science believed in that or practiced that. A prime example is Thomas Morgan. If you read further down, you hear about him and some of the people who pushed back against the eugenics movement and social Darwinism. So I think it's kind of disingenuous to make that type of leap in that regard. But there are concerns about that. There are concerns about that, and the best method to fix that is to have your children engage in science. So that's the method to fight against that. No one would deny that. There's still.
That's crazy.
Why would that be crazy?
Because you're in a society that's dominated a white supremacist society. You put them in science, it only gonna benefit the white supremacists. You can't benefit,
brother. Right. Who's saying that shit? Who said that shit?
This Diana Ghana, so we just scream on YouTube.
No. Who made that statement? Who just made that statement?
Become scientists?
Ghana that statement.
Which one? Become scientists or not to become scientists?
Who just made the statement about you live in a white supremacist society?
Oh, that's
I did.
James.
I can't even see the panel anymore.
Yeah, let me just finish this last statement.
Okay,
and then I'm gonna drop back down. I think that's okay. I think that's a very obscure view, and defeatist in its ultimate conception. We've always engaged in science,
realistic,
and so to suggest that we haven't engaged in science is kind of a misaccurate.
That's not really responding to what he's saying. But what was your point, though?
Can I finish, or y'all just gonna keep cutting me off?
No, go ahead, brother.
Because I could have sworn I was talking. Are we confused whether I'm not talking?
You were talking, brother.
Thank you. So let me finish. So when you say that science cannot work because of white supremacy, that kind of misaligns with what science does. So yes, you have to fight against white supremacy, but the best methods we have to develop a healthy and whole population is through the scientific method in science. Science is not just about philosophy. Well, I can't even say that to a degree. It's not just about opinions. It's about data analysis and the collection of data and information so that we can draw better conclusions based on the data that we find. And it doesn't matter where that data comes from. If it's data accurate and useful, then we should use it. So we're on YouTube right now through science. You know, we drive cars through science. We're dealing with AI through science. So we're always dealing with science. Humans are now living longer than they've ever lived. Prior to the COVID, of course, they had some decrease in how long people live. We're living healthier lives, and so there has been a continuous benefit, and there's some negative aspects of science too, which is why we have to deal with ethics, morality, and other things, which is why we should encourage our children to engage in that so they can develop healthy vaccines, so they can develop healthy technology, so they can help develop and strengthen the communities that we belong to.
I agree with a whole bunch of that stuff that you said. I think
let Joe get in there real quick. Joe ain't said nothing.
Peace, my brothers. How y'all doing? I'm gonna be real quick. I like what Marcus said, man. Marcus said something that was powerful, man. Get your children involved in STEM. Gotta do it. Gotta science. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Look, I'm listening to my man Sosa. Sosa dropped the ball, man, trying to talk about, why they stopped with the pseudoscience. Cedric said something that was real important that everybody pretty much skipped on. Cedric said, I don't care where you go on this planet, everybody doing science going to agree about gravity. Because we studied it. They're going to say the same thing about photosynthesis, air, you name it. They do tests. They verify that these things are accurate. Now, that's why they call the whole black pseudo. Remember that word pseudo? They called it pseudoscience. You want to know why? Because there's no testing. There's no testing for colors. Like the same darkness that you find over in Africa, you're going to find it over there in Eastern Asia. You're going to find it down there, off in the waters down there in New Zealand and all that. You're going to have people spread out with these dark colors. So lookership ain't going to help you. And that's what we like to do. We like to do lookership.
That's how you determine race. That's how it's determined.
That's pseudoscience.
That's how it's denoted. I was determined that is
Let me get it out. Let me get it out.
They go to the next thing. Them knuckleheads
you got to follow.
Adam saying, blah, blah, blah. Pseudoscience. It's not accurate. It's not accurate. The folks over there that did that work in Egypt, that everybody admires, everybody want to be them. I don't care what part of the planet they're from. People always want to try to insert themselves into being Egyptians. No, they Africans. Get it through your thick head. Not black.
Not black.
Get it through your fake head.
Let's get who else saying?
That's all I want to say. Remember, science is something that's researched and tested. If you say something that has not been researched and tested, you pseudo. That's all I want to say.
You're doing.
I got Dumb on the building. No, what's good, but you probably just trying to get yours off, bro.
Yeah, man. Niggas is up here bullshitting. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Removing the concept of race from genetics because genetics proves that race isn't identified in its study, it undermines eugenics. It does not help eugenics. It does not further eugenics. There's no way that you could spin the possibility of removing race from genetics to say that's something that helps eugenics, because the argument of eugenics as it pertains to race utilizes a pseudoscientific genetic argument that white genes are different from black genes. But we can look at the science and see the science explain why race doesn't exist in genetics. Because there are no such things as race-specific alleles. There are no black alleles. There are no white alleles. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what?
Black Tylenol, white Tylenol, right? Black Tylenol, white Tylenol.
Does one have a hominid, a different ancient hominid?
Let it get it off. That's something different.
But that's what I'm saying. Like once niggas start talking about ancient hominid, we right now we are the most scientifically advanced we've ever been. So to compare what we know now,
how can you say that? How can you say that?
Bro, hold on.
That's not a debate. Let me finish
with the tools and technology we have now,
with the planet,
we can look at atoms. We can look at DNA. We can look at genetics. Like literally, visibly see the markers.
And confirm the
so it's like Bro, so listen. I can't argue with somebody that think the science in the 1600s was more advanced than science today.
Yeah,
Like we don't even need to talk if that's the basis of what somebody's saying.
Yeah, let's move on.
Like literally, the technology that we have today gives us the capacity to understand biology better now than any other time in history. Period.
Facts.
Like that, there is no argument about that, bro. The microscopes and shit that we have now, bro. Like in a high school biology class, they can look at DNA. Shit that the best scientists in whatever past century could not do. That's why this shit becomes nonsensical. Like what are we really talking about? Like we know that what gives us the scientific advantage today more than anybody in the past is our technology. They didn't have that. So once they came to an understanding and realized like a lot of shit that we believed in the past is wrong because of the available data. You can't blame them for like what they only could operate with. But once we have better technology, we don't have to rely on shit that couldn't even do what we do.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, like we can give people credit for what they was able to establish, but right now the distinction that the conversation that we having is the distinction between the natural world, natural science, and the interpretation of that of the world.
Right.
Scientific racism is an example of an interpretation of data, a misinterpretation of data.
Right.
Science in and of itself has done the work to prove that interpretation is false given the recent data. Most people don't even know that.
So
every nigga sitting on the internet still talking about, well, you gotta have this much black blood. Nigga, ain't no such thing as black blood. So even when we like, oh,
no, so
well,
what part?
What
part was the racist part, Domo?
What you said? What you mean? What part was it? You talking about the scientific race? The introduction of race introduced racism along with it, because when the modern interpretation of race had characteristics applied, they didn't even give a fuck about genes. They was like, if you are this race, this is the type of person you are. That is racist.
Type of intelligence you have. Type of intelligence you have.
Right. Yeah, that's racist in and of itself. So that's why the argument.
So what we did initially, we was quoting from James Watson, and he was the head of the Human Genomic Project. That kind of what introduced us into this modern era that you're speaking of. So I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, they got like, you know, like the they have the ability now, like, you know, they call it designer babies, right? So if I want my baby to have
CRISPR now, CRISPR and shit.
If I want my baby to have blue eyes or, you know, a darker skin,
right,
you know, I can, you know, there's a way that they could scientifically do that. Right.
Correct.
So how would they know how to do that if they wasn't studying this thing based off of what I'm gonna say for, you know, clarification terms, you know, race. Like they have to know what black is, they have to know what, you know, the genetics that produce white is, they have to know these things in order to be able to, okay, I can make your baby black.
Just gotta know the
right. But I think what happens though is race isn't what define the characteristics. People use those characteristics to define race. So like, yeah, you have genes, like you have genes for curly hair, you have genes for straight hair, you have genes for lighter skin, you have genes for darker skin,
blue eyes,
those genes.
But they also say there are genes for intelligence too, because they say that if you want your baby to even things like they go as deep as like people that's more prone to be alcoholics and people that's more prone to
but
you know,
that's
epigenetics.
That's true, right? But I think the difference, and this is why I said you have the data and you have the data how it's interpreted, right? You can take you can look and see like, yes, there are genes for alcoholism. Like if you got, like my mama say all the time, we got alcoholism in our family because my grandfather was an alcoholic, right? You got genes for addiction.
Right?
You have genes.
Yes, hereditability. You can inherit.
But again, though your gene that's associated with addiction is not connected to the gene that's associated with your skin color. It's not associated to the gene that's connected to your hair.
Listen,
And
man,
what
you live
race
in a
does,
white supremacist society.
bro, listen, don't interrupt with some basic shit, please.
That's
We know the
real deep
society
shit,
we live
man.
in. White supremacy is the if
Who
like
are you
literally,
trying to
just like
explain
Unc
to?
said earlier, if you don't understand the impact of white supremacy, just get you to the plate. It's not a point in and of itself. We get like literally that's what we're talking through. So if you're making a point about white supremacy, to take a step back and understand the nuance of what we're discussing. White supremacy is a question of interpretation. Like I said, and the ability to enforce that interpretation. Like, so again, we can't disconnect the fact that, like, when we point out how pharmaceutical companies use science to make money, that's different from the science in and of itself. The institutions that use science to produce scientific racism is different than the actual science in and of itself, because they disagree.
Right.
They conflict. Right. But and so to Solar's point, like, again, the question of race isn't just a question of phenotype, it's a question of personality. What type of person you are, because your skin is darker. And so yes, we can get designer babies and make their skin darker, right? But again, just because their skin darker doesn't mean they have a proclivity to violence. It doesn't mean that they're less intelligent. Those things are not, or hypersexual. Right. Those things are not connected. Those genes are not connected to create a black person.
Okay. Let me pivot. Now, I will say, right? Yes, that is true. But in terms of how they use the science, like how they use the science and how it's politicized. So they still put out propaganda within the politics that suggests that Black people are more prone to crime. But from a genetic standpoint, no, they can't prove that through genetics. They can't prove it through genetics, but they still kind of use these same concepts when you're talking about how we're represented politically. So they kind of still lean on these ideas without having to say it. So when you're talking about like the designer babies, and when you're talking about, the science of actually, creating these different phenotypes and the skin complexions, etc., what I'm saying is that they're still studying the differences between the different ethnic groups, and they know the difference between these different ethnic groups and the pros and cons to these different ethnic groups of people. Because if they didn't know that, then they wouldn't be able to do these sciences, and they wouldn't be able to pinpoint certain things and be that specific in identifying the certain characteristics.
Hold on. What differences though? What are you saying that they can identify the differences? What are you saying by the?
Well, you're talking about like skin complexion, eye color, hair texture, etc. Like,
what is that? But that has nothing to do with characteristics though.
Well, it's characteristics that's permanent amongst races of people.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like, for example,
phenotypically.
No, he's not talking. No,
no. We're talking about like characteristics, the personality characteristics.
Yeah.
So that's more of a social thing, but you could say that more so like Asians are more inclined to be a certain type of personality as opposed to an African.
I don't know about that.
No, because we see it.
Certain things are social.
That's a little crazy.
Certain things
I started off by saying that.
So a woman might be more submissive in, say, a Japanese culture, but that's social. But that's not necessarily a characteristic that can be taken from a gene and planted into.
Well,
see what I'm saying?
What they identified initially, and how detailed they are, and it's so much so that they, and y'all may think that this is a conspiracy theory, but they have they could create race-specific biological weapons. Meaning that, like, if a group of race is more prone to certain things, such as, Black people, when they drink milk, they tend to have gas because of the vitamin D, right? Right. So they have now the technology or the capability to create race-specific biological weapons.
I mean, lactose intolerant, but I mean, yeah, I guess, but that would also affect Asians and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and some Europeans.
I know enough Europeans
and
that
some
are lactose intolerant.
Yeah, yeah. In your area,
it's a human phenomenon.
In your area, is more prevalent. But
Yeah.
most Europeans Africans are more predominantly lactose intolerant.
I'm not lactose intolerant.
You just know a lot of Europeans.
Predominantly. I'm just saying, about 75.
Yeah. You know they're gonna make up some shit to make themselves sound right.
Yeah, you go African Americans, East Asians, Native Americans. But most Europeans are not. Most Europeans
it's in population groups, but you cannot use that as a race specific. Why? Because it is within multiple groups. The same thing with diabetes.
We all gonna be farting. We all gonna be out there farting. So like, it just be black people. We all gonna be on the toilet.
I'm not saying that is all the way across the board, but in general, when you're dealing with percentages.
Yeah. I get it. That's you almost got there with. But the diarrhea wasn't really you got close. You got close. You almost had something there, but I ain't go with the diarrhea one. You can shoot a nigga still have diarrhea, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep shooting.
But these are the same individuals. Like
man.
So what?
What he's saying, like they are genetically removing certain traits from people.
No,
is that what he's saying?
No, I don't think he's saying. I think he's saying that CRISPR, in terms of designing babies, what they're doing is they're taking certain things like you can go there and be like, I want my baby to have blue eyes and blonde hair, and then they have the actual technology to do that, like designing babies. You can design babies you want, but certain things are.
You mentioned a whole lot of other stuff too. I need to read something that explains it.
Certain things are you got to inherit. I think intelligence. There's no intelligence gene. But it's inherited though. Like most intelligent people come from intelligent backgrounds, so it's just like height. So certain things are inherited, but you're not gonna.
I mean, he hit us with lactose intolerance. I mean, is that one? I mean, where's the article for that? What should I look up?
No, we don't. We had this fight, bro. Most African Americans are lactose intolerant. Most, not all. Probably like about 70% clip.
Black people in general.
So that means that you could consume milk in your early years. That's why as a kid, you don't have no problem eating cereal. But when you get to your adult years, your ability to break down lactose disintegrates. So now as you get older, you have problems doing milk. And then normally as you get older, you get
it's better for Europeans. They better, but they needed it because they couldn't get that.
I mean, I use that as an example. You don't have to dwell too much on the diarrhea.
Their body learned to absorb it.
We'll touch that on another topic. Got to do with cattle culture. They had cattle. People that have cattle got that. But let's move on. Let's move on past lactose.
But
the point is that you have the same groups of people. Like he's saying, like what Domo was saying pretty much is that okay, from a genetic standpoint, dealing specifically with the genetics. But once again, these are the same individuals that are the eugenicists of before time. So what they understood was that, okay, we can't use this term genetics, but they are still eugenicists in terms of what they're doing. So what they did was they want to now begin to understand the genes that makes us who we are. So once they begin to understand that, then they could further what they were doing aforetime, which is eugenics. So eugenics and genetics are tied in.
That's a quick question.
They are one and the same. In fact, the brother
I've been jumping around. I give
in fact, James Watson, as what we were talking about, the head of the Human Genome Project. Mm-hmm. He was the director of the Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, and but they renamed it to the Cold Springs Harbor Laboratory. That was the Eugenic Record Office, aforetime. So genetics, and eugenics in that, and that's why I quoted Frederick Osborne.
It sounds the same, but it's not.
That's why I quoted Frederick Osborne, because he was telling us why you had this transition occurring, and what the one brother was saying when he was saying, yeah, well, yeah, there were some people that were, you know, had these racist terms. No, these are the people that is heading these projects. These ain't just
Let me ask
anybody,
Solo a
little
question.
flim-flam scientists coming out of nowhere that just making these statements. No, this is the person that is the father of molecular biology. So this ain't just like some racist scientist that's got these crazy views. We stand on their research to this very day. So it's a difference.
I got a question for Solar, y'all.
Right.
Hey, Solar, do you think they can genetically infuse African Americans to stop them from thinking they Egyptians, Native Americans? God daggone Moors.
He said Egyptian. Well, I think it morphed into that. I think it morphed into that. Speaking specifically of the Egyptians, I think that it initially started as, you know, we started talking about like people like Runoko Rashidi and people like Yosef Ben Yakinen and even John Henry Clark to a certain degree. Like they just was there. I don't think that they was trying to show that we are those people. They were just showing that there were Africans that were
Black
developers of
civilization.
civilizations, and they participated in the areas of science and culture. So that was what it initially was. But as it began to morph, people began to embrace those individuals that was shown. And now people are saying, well, I am those people. So that's no different than like, you know, the European does the same thing with the Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing that's something that we're just doing or is a black thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
They mostly do it with Viking culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you see this European, you know, they put up this Roman culture and the Greek gods and all that shit. Like, you know, so it's like, yeah, you know, we put up our Egyptian stuff, and you know, that's a black thing. So I don't see nothing the matter with that.
No te preocupes, mi amor. Me espera con ganas.
So you might be on the phone or something.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, it's a silly on
Yeah,
the
but yeah, Domo don't know what he's talking about though.
Don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, let me pull that nigga back out.
Yeah, but yeah, we live in a racist society that's against black people, man. That's the main thing. And when you see us scholars that's fighting against that,
us scholars, I reject
scholars,
that.
when you see any black people that's coming with any kind of information that counters the white supremacist ideology and push that black people are inferior and never had great civilizations, that's what we're doing when we're claiming them, when we're showing them. That's what we're doing. We're trying to counter the lies and deceit. You know what I mean? We're the ones. We're the black people. We're the original people. We're the ones who've been there for hundreds of thousands of years. If you're looking at some old great civilization, you got to give it to us. You got to understand we're the ones with all the information. There's no way around that. You know what I mean? You just
What
can't
is he
appear on the
talking about?
pen.
We're the one.
You can't. I'm sorry. I just started talking a couple seconds ago.
Don't get it off,
but
man.
I just started talking. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You have to look at that and say, if black people have been on the planet for 300,000 years, when you start looking at great civilizations, 10, 5, 10,000 years ago, you got to understand it has to come from us. It can't come from a people that's just popping up. It doesn't make sense to even attribute to anyone just popping up on the planet. You don't even have anything, no way to claim it. You ain't even in the vicinity. You're not over there. You're somewhere in a cold ass climate. That's why your features look the way you look. They got to form their features in a cold climate. You don't just pop up and claim a desert civilization like you were the civilizers and you the creators of it. You wouldn't even be able to survive in it. You can't last on a beach without suntan lotion, but you're going to pretend to have been in a desert climate in North Africa, the hottest place on earth.
Good point.
All right, hold on 1 second. All right, now nobody's saying, I don't think anybody's saying that.
I just got started.
Yeah, how long you want to go? All right, go, bro.
No, let the brother finish. It wasn't that long. He was talking for 2.5 minutes, man. You just don't like what he's saying, so it sounds longer.
I'm gonna let you go one more.
Man, all you need is 2 minutes, man.
Right. We know plenty of facts. We know that once again we've been here for 300,000 years, over 300,000 years.
Right.
And we know that the Sahara Desert itself barely been there for 5, maybe 10,000 years. And
That's
even
incorrect.
if it was there, even if it
Ladies and
was there,
gentlemen,
that is
I
correct.
Sound like
It
a
is
hater,
correct.
bro.
Even though,
Stop hating, bro.
even if it was there, and even if it was there, we're black.
Just
If
saying
anyone could
incorrect.
withstand a desert climate, we could. That's why you see it. They make that claim they make for North Africa in the Sahara. Why don't they make that claim for the damn Kalahari? We got black people there. We got Khoisan. We got, you know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? We lived there. You don't say we didn't live in the desert in the Kalahari, but we couldn't live in the Sahara. Oh, if you live above the Sahara, you had to turn pale. What have you learned? What have you lived below the Kalahari? Do you turn pale? Do South Africans turn pale? It's bull. It's a stupid claim that doesn't make sense. When you make them little fake maps and say if you got below the Tropic of Capricorn, you turn light, and if you get above it, you turn light. That's make believe. It's all
you know
fake.
what's
It doesn't
interesting
make
about
sense.
the point that he's making right now.
You don't
Like
understand the
the same point could be made for this modern Jew, right?
Exactly. So
for this modern Jew that is claiming this
Hey, shout out to the
homeland,
Jews.
and he claims it through genetics. He claims his jewelry through what we call genetics, right?
But he can't.
Okay, so
he's Ashkenazi.
Right. But this is the thing.
Ashkenaz.
This is the thing, right? But in that land that he claims to be his homeland, he has high levels of melanoma. He has high levels of melanoma because he is not the indigenous person of that land. Right. And God has chosen, when he's talking about the chosen people, the chosen people of that area are the darker skinned people because the sun is not tearing their asses up.
Nigga, some of them been over there
chilling. So what we talking about, right? What we're talking about is, a group of people that is using modern genetics. They're using modern genetics and they politicize it to claim areas of the world that they don't belong in. And real science is dictating that they don't belong there. It's the actual sun that's saying that you don't belong there because they have the highest rates of melanoma in the entire world.
Right, but they love to project. They do project that they're from there. They do.
And they just pulled an article showing that those Europeans in that particular region who have been dark skinned for quite a long time. They have been dark skinned up until 8,000 years ago. They had
dark skinned Europeans, you're saying?
Yeah, they were dark skinned.
Yes.
Okay.
Black. You mean, or just say black Europeans? Just
he like to say black. Well, no black.
Black.
Well, yeah, I don't know exactly what you're. I don't know. Wait. I don't know exactly what you're saying when you say a dark skinned European.
Who that? Fontaine.
Right.
Let Fontaine get in. Let Fontaine get in real quick.
They confused me when we read the article that, if I'm not mistaken, this was Ghana's article where we read where they said the original Europeans were dark skinned. So now he's saying
meant black by that. They meant black.
Let me finish talking.
You can see the
I've been quiet the whole time.
You can see you can see what the scientific.
I've been quiet the whole time, bro.
Okay, but you can see this.
Gracious, bro.
Go ahead.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let your emotions calm down. So, boom. Then as soon as you say dark-skinned Europeans, they'll be like, well, just call them black. Okay, cool. So these black Europeans originated the people in Europe, and then their skin turned white. So are they no longer black people because their skin turned white? Because genetically, they're still the same people.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. You're saying that there were dark-skinned Europeans that migrated into Europe?
No.
The Africans that originally, the Africans that
hold on. That's the point. They migrated in about 40,000 years ago, and they were dark skinned up until 8,000 BC.
So you're saying that they were dark skinned when they went into Europe?
Yeah.
Yes.
So why are you calling them Europeans?
But
because
they mutated in Europe.
Those are the same people that you're calling Europeans. Those
people, exactly the same people.
Those are the same.
There's no such place as Europe.
So hold on, my bad.
So
hold on, Solomon. Why are you calling them Europeans? Because I call them Africans. Why are you calling them Europeans?
I'm not calling them Europeans. You're saying.
Didn't you say the white people from this area are Europeans? Aren't the white people from this area who you're calling Europeans?
No, what I was making.
So hold on. So white people from Britain and all those places are not Europeans.
That's what they said to call them.
So the white people from Britain and Spain and all those places are not Europeans.
They're not really from Europe. There's no place called Europe. Is not really a continent.
The question.
So what are they?
So the people that's currently occupying.
They Central Asians living.
No. The people that's currently occupying those areas that you said are European. But they're not dark skinned though.
They're not
There's
dark.
Correct.
Central
And the
Asians
people that
living in Western
originally
Asia.
inhabited that land, that the same people you just referred to come from, that's their lineage. These people were dark skinned at one point, and they birthed the people you're referring to.
Wait. So how many years ago you're talking about?
They were dark
You
skinned
just
up
said
until
40,000
around
years ago they
8,000.
was
Up
dark.
until about 8,000 BC.
Okay, so you're saying 8,000 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm saying the same people.
Those are
They're from the same bloodline, though. They're from the same bloodline.
Their
Well,
So are
grandma,
you saying they're different
you
people?
could go even further and say that we're
But
all
those
African.
same
great
people,
grandma and them black. That's what he's saying.
those are Africans who have been living in
So-
Asia for thousands of years.
We know what it was,
Eventually
bro.
moved
We
from
don't need to
Asia.
Right, but that's
who
what
lived in
makes
Asia
them
for 50,000 years.
Right, that's what
break
makes
that
them
down, bro.
European, though.
Into
What
Europe.
makes them European? What we today call European, because like what the brother said, they really don't come from Europe. They really migrated into Europe.
Right.
Correct. So they're African.
No,
the
not from
modern day
Africa, from
European is
Asia.
what we're talking about.
From Asia.
So when you say like a dark
So
skin,
let me ask you something.
when you
If
say a
they're
dark skin
modern day
European,
Europeans,
like
are
that's why I'm
modern
trying
day
to figure out what you're
Europeans
talking about.
are modern day Europeans not the same as their forefathers?
No.
So they're different than their forefathers? So they're not what their grandparents are.
The mutation's major.
These niggas crazy.
How you just gonna laugh that off and say niggas is crazy?
Oh,
he said we
that's
crazy.
not an
Call me a
answer.
nigga is crazy.
Yeah.
That's we don't talk like that here, but unless y'all do, I don't talk like
Hey,
that.
y'all.
Hey, that's that talk, bro.
But
Hold
this
on,
is
that was
these
just a
these fellas,
dismissive
my bad.
statement.
You're right. These fellas are misinformed.
wait a minute.
I'm
Hold
talking
that's
about
crazy.
These
You're
niggas.
fellas
crazy
are
because they
Change my
misinformed.
language.
So let me get it real
white.
quick.
They turn from black to white, and that's a big difference.
Sosa.
It's
Their
a big
skin
difference. We
tone,
call
but
the
did their
difference in
genetic
race
makeup,
That's not no
did
big
their
difference.
genes
Now you
Let me
talking.
get it.
Now
It's
you
so
doing
major.
eugenics, bro.
It's so
Hey, let
major.
Joe get it in. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, get it. You talking eugenics?
Do you know this?
The
This
impact
guy
is
just
major,
now.
and there's a big history behind it.
Hold on,
This
Don.
guy just now said that I am not from my West African folks that come off that side years ago. He just
You're not the
took away
same.
my whole ancestry because I look different than them. He's saying they not my ancestors. That's crazy. That is crazy. You can't do that, dude. That's and see what he is saying is the same thing them folks in the 1800s was doing with the lookership and declaring people were something that they were not. You're doing the same thing, dude. You just saying it different and reviving what we trying to get rid of. Science is how you get rid of racism. And you trying to keep it.
Science created racism.
We all the
what are you
same.
talking about? Science created racism. It's the
I'm
scientists who made it.
Man, let it go, man. Let him get it out.
James is
Not
right.
create
Right.
racism.
There's no way you're going to convince me that the modern day white European is the same as like an Ethiopian, like a person with the same features but have darker skin.
Nobody is saying that.
I'm
That's what he
saying
pretty
that
much
It's like y'all be mixing up
I'm saying
conversations.
that they are the same people, bro.
Yeah, so
One
he just said
one
that. He
turn,
just said
one
that what
skin
I
light,
just
one
was saying.
skin.
They're the
There's
same
no way
people.
you're
So
going
the
to convince
Joba
me.
with the plate in
They're
the lip.
no different than
So with the plate in the lip,
a lot
those
of
the
people
same
right
ones
around
as
East
Europeans.
Africa and an
So
Ethiopian.
the same Ethiopians with the plate in the lip are the same thing as Europeans. That's what you're saying?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, they're the
Yes.
same. How are they the
They're
same?
the
That's
same age
You
and
niggas
everything.
is delusional.
That was a
They're
fake
all Homo
claim.
sapiens
Listen, that was a
sapiens, and they're
fake claim. They were
99.9%
using
the
Only
same.
they were using
you
a
just talk about different
They
people,
were using a
different
West
mutations,
African
bro.
skull. They were misnomer calling it a Caucasian skull. It's a West African skull,
Bro.
just like the Mongoloid
Now he's
skull
talking
is a
about
South
I don't
African
know. Now you're
skull.
trying to go back and talk about
No,
some
they're
science shit you don't even understand.
both of those skulls are African. They're
Bro.
African and they're found in Africa first. They're not found. The Caucasian skull's not found, and
Bro.
Caucasian is found in East Africa. They calling it Caucasian,
Bro, where
but
do
it's
white
found in
people?
East Africa
Where
first.
do
It's the
where
first.
do you where
It's
do
the
the
oldest. It's
where
the
do the
oldest
people
shaped
you call
skull,
white
man.
people
It's the
come
oldest
from, bro?
shaped skull, and it's the oldest people.
It's
It's a
people
black
like
skull.
I'm not talking about that. Where
They're fooling
there's
you.
white
They're
people that
fooling
you
you.
talk
Calling
about.
It's
it a
time to
Caucasian
start
skull.
reading the articles now.
They're
You got
calling
to
it
start.
Caucasian skull, but it's not. It's
Right.
the East
What does that
African
got to do
skull.
with what I'm talking about, bro?
It
Like,
has everything to do with
me.
it, just like the Mongolian skull. The Mongolian
Where
skull
do
is a
white
South
people come
African
from, bro?
skull. It's a skull that
He's
belongs
not
to the
listening,
people.
Sosa. He's just
It's a
talking.
skull that belongs
I know.
to the
That's
Khoisan
why you
people.
can't have a conversation where he just keeps going
It's a
on.
skull that belongs to the Khoisan people, who are one of the oldest.
Margaret, what's on your mind, fam? You guys
No,
understand?
it's a skull that belongs to the
I
Marcus
heard
Khoisan
real
people.
quick.
and then it goes
Go to
to
Marcus
Asia.
real quick.
That skull only been in Asia for
Hold
10,000
on, man. I'm
years.
trying to get to Marcus.
Come on, bro.
Why you talk
I
over
put
me
you
when
on
I'm
mute
talking?
for a reason, bro, because you like cutting
Does
in,
one
you
want to hear?
ignorant, and
Yeah, but you ain't let me
I
talk
can't
the
have
whole
a
time. You keep trying
because
to
you
let me
already
wait,
cut
and then
in.
when
I'm
I
trying
say
to I'm trying to
something,
get
you
other
cut me
people
off.
on, bro. Like if I can't have a conversation with, I just move you down, bro. Like
Yo, why can't I just say certain things without y'all cut
you've
me off?
already said what you said, bro, and then
No,
you
what I
cut me
said.
on the
Let me
conversation,
finish
bro.
what I said.
Somebody
No,
else was
no,
talking, you interject, and then you take the ball, like
no.
you
So
intercept the
when?
pass,
Come
and
on,
then
man.
go for a
So how long
touchdown,
I've been
bro.
here? How long I've been
It
here? How
don't
many
matter
times
if I say chill, just chill, bro. I'm gonna give it back to you, bro. Just chill.
bring it back? All right.
I try to have a conversation with you, don't listen. So I'm like, I
I'm
can't
not
talk
getting
to
a
you.
chance to
Like, come
speak.
on,
That's why it's like you got to force yourself in. I feel like that's a
No,
rule.
bro, you talking
go
at
ahead,
us and
Mark.
not talking with
Marcus,
us,
what's on
brother.
your mind,
I'm
man? What's
trying to
on
follow y'all rules, man.
So I put a source in the Discord about the eugenics, so we can read on that. You can hear the conversation about that and where they at with it now, and how there's still some people who still practice eugenics. Nevertheless, that's not the whole of science. Um, Scientific racism is a specific term that was taken up, but it's not the origin of racism.
Yeah,
I
cool.
heard that statement too. That's just not true. Um, it didn't originate from there. There's even evidence. I think Sabia was trying to bring this point out of at least racist ideas well before the development of science. Science has a specific time and date in antiquated times and ancient times. Philosophy, religion, and science was kind of blended together. But when the scientific method of theory came about, is a specific time, and I don't think we should use anachronism to push it back past that time. So I gave you a source, Sosa, that you can read over in the Discord. Also, just to clarify some things, I'll be another minute, then I'm gonna jump back down. I hear a lot of people critiquing science, which is fine. You can critique it, but I don't hear them coming up with any type of methodology or answers to the problems that we face today. So you say, okay, well, genetics is racist. Okay, then what do you present that we use instead of genetics? Science is racist. What do you propose that we use instead of science and the scientific method? Um, these are some questions that I would like to get some answers from.
I like
um,
the answer to it.
some have made some proposals and made some statements
That off.
that just historically is inaccurate. So I also like them to clean that up some and try to give historical context to it.
My pleasure.
Like I said,
Yeah, I'll
like,
do.
Yeah,
I'll do
yeah.
the
See,
eugenics
the thing is,
My
right?
pleasure.
Hold on, fam. We'll see somebody. You just
I
Johnny
want
was
to
like,
make a
it's my
quick
exactly.
turn to rock.
statement.
Yeah,
This is what I mean.
I'm gonna do
So I'm a listen.
Marcus. I'm gonna
I
do
don't have
eugenics a little later. I'm gonna do eugenics a little later because that topic, like, we can't just brush over. We gotta cover that. You feel me? So
and
I'm
my
gonna do.
patience
Go ahead.
yeah, my patience doesn't do well with that. So I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna jump down because I feel myself about to say something. So y'all enjoy the show. I'm gonna go ahead and hop down.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take it.
Emotional intelligence.
I appreciate that, Marcus. I appreciate what he said.
Yeah. You know that. Hey, but that is emotional intelligence, though. So no, you know what? Sometimes you gotta know.
Yeah,
when it's time
he
to
know when
go.
to back out.
Yeah, it's time to go, bro.
He want to call us all types of niggas and stupid idiots.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel the same way.
Yeah, I've been quiet for the longest. You haven't noticed?
Are we gonna address that? We gonna address that? Anyone? Or I can address it?
No, I just wanted to say in terms of like,
Go ahead, bro.
because people make the argument suggesting that, the science, the science and the actual science of studying the genetics and, they were using the science of that time to come up with these racial ideas as well. And so what they understand is all the sciences, because you're dealing specifically with genetics. They understand the metaphysical aspect of science, or the psychology, and how to engineer, how to miseducate, and all those areas of sciences that they use for their specific agenda. When you're talking about genetics and their study of genetics, they use that for their race's agenda as well. So I think that when they try to cloud the issue and saying that, well, race doesn't exist, at this point in time, it's convenient for them to do that when you're looking at all of the areas, even their political science.
Right.
It's convenient for them to redefine or classify things as such. And we know from living that it's certain things that make other ethnic groups of people, not just their skin color, we have different characteristics that makes us distinct from each other. And that's just the reality of the situation, bro.
Ethnically, but not racially.
Hold on, to be clear though.
Ethnically, but not
Are
racially.
you arguing in favor of racial
first.
classification? Because I think this just got to be cleared up. Are you
Yeah,
arguing
so you want to keep it?
racial classification?
Yeah, you want to keep it.
Yes.
Okay.
So now can I
why are we arguing about racism if we okay with the racial classification? Why are we arguing saying that the white man
we fighting against we fighting against evil. We don't care.
If you don't care that said that, that's what I'm saying. If you ain't the one who said that, whatever tangent you're going on, you can park it, bro.
Talking to Solar, bro.
I'm asking Solar minds. He specifically Solar, are you arguing in favor of the current racial hierarchy that we have now?
In favor of it?
Yeah. Do you want to keep it? Do you want to keep it the way it is?
Oh no.
So what's the problem? What's the problem with like geneticists saying that race isn't genetic? It's not a biological reality.
Well, I think that it puts the people at a disadvantage to think that, because they are studying the differences. See, I think that like what they did was they began to shift, because they made an attempt to try to prove genetically that they were superior. It failed. So then what they wanted to do is say, well, why? They want to know now, what are the differences? And as they begin to study the differences, they could begin to understand and either monopolize or use that to their advantage. These are still racist individuals. So while they're studying the differences, they're telling the masses, well, race don't exist.
But you think there are differences exist.
So that's why I said that, well, if the race don't exist, then it's a reason why we say race, because you're digging a little deeper than surface level. There's that race and ethnicity and skin color and things of that nature, but it's all tied into these old ideas of race, you should say, like so
old ideas.
Yes, these old ideas serve as the foundation of
they're not old. We live with that every day.
No. I get what you're saying from a political standpoint, but he's digging a little more deeper into
address what he's saying. I know you.
Well, that's. I think that we get caught on the whole race isn't a genetic reality thing, and then because like the argument that race isn't real isn't necessarily true, right? Like the argument is that race isn't a genetic reality, even though it's a social one. So like race is very real from a social standpoint. I'm black in this country. White people call me black. Everything that come with being black in a white supremacist society, I deal with. You know what I'm saying? But I can still recognize though that the argument about my genetics being inferior is completely false. I think, that's why I think we get.
No. I'm not making that argument.
And there's a difference, and people scared to admit it.
I'm not making that argument, but as what James just said, they know that there's differences, and that's what they're studying. They know that it's not inferior because it's certain characteristics that we may be superior in.
So you're saying that race is real, that there is a biological reality to race.
There's definitely
definitely a biological reality of different ethnic groups. And
you're saying race is real. Then you agree?
Listen, if you have a homo, what is a homo sapien?
Race is not real.
What is a homo sapien?
Race is not real.
Okay, racism. What is a homo sapien?
Modern human, bro. Like, what's
It's modern human.
Okay, a modern human. Okay, so what is a Homo sapien if you mix it with another hominid?
What other hominid are you mixing it with?
Yeah, that's what Homo sapiens.
Let's say a Neanderthal. Let's say mix it with a Neanderthal.
That's what Homo sapiens are. That's still Homo
No,
sapiens.
no. I just said a Homo sapien. That's one species.
That's what you are. You
no,
are
Homo sapien. Right now, if you mix
but
it,
they're Homo sapiens.
Listen, what I just asked you. If you mix two species, now Google it. If you mix two species, what happens? Is that the same species?
They're both human.
You make a better human.
Okay. Let me come back. Let me ask you again.
Hold on. Stop.
Let me ask you again.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you
again. You got one Homo sapien.
Let me ask you this. Are you?
No, let me ask the question. You got the Homo sapien.
Right.
You said that's one species. And now you take a Homo sapien and then you mix it with like a dog.
But
you mix it with a dog. Let's say you mix it with a dog. Listen.
Yeah, you can't.
No, go back to the Neanderthal. Because they try to push you off of that point, bro. Because they're going to try to make it sound like you're crazy.
No, let's mix it with anything.
Again, you got to say,
Neanderthals are human.
Let's mix it with anything that's not
Neanderthals are human.
As long as we mix it.
We can't breed with dogs. So the genetics are too far apart.
We can't breed with Neanderthals either.
Can I answer his question?
I know.
Neanderthals and humans did breed,
right?
bro.
No. Neanderthals we can't breed with. It's a very difficult thing. So
let me answer you though.
We did breed with Neanderthals. We bred with Neanderthals. We bred with Sosa.
So you're saying a Homo sapien.
Hold on, Joel. Hold on before we get out there.
See how every time I'm talking, like it'd be like 5 talking.
Hold on, I got to pause.
But you asked the question.
I got to pause.
Right, when I'm talking, it's like a whole bunch of talking. Every time.
Because you said a bunch of crazy shit and we can't correct it, bro. Just chill for a second.
I mean, I'm just trying to talk.
Humans made it with Neanderthals.
How about correct me when I'm finished?
Humans made it with Denisovans, bro.
No, how about give me correct me when I'm finished?
No, I mean,
listen
to what he's saying, bro.
Yeah, African Americans so us African Americans, so most of us have Neanderthal DNA.
Right, I know.
I mean, we're not human.
I know.
So that's just crazy.
Neanderthals
are archaic humans.
I did not say
all of us are humans. So it's not a different.
No, that's not what I said. I said, but it's a different species.
Fucking man to dog is stupid, bro. That's
if crazy. You know, okay, you can call it stupid if you want, but I said
idiotic, bro.
I told you to Google it, but you can call it stupid.
I don't have to Google it. I know what it is.
I bet you won't see what happens if you mix two species. If you mix two species, what do you get? What is it called? Hey, what is it called?
I know what it is, bro.
Hey, listen, Mr. Scientist. What's it called if you mix two species?
Bro, I understand what hybridization is, bro.
Oh, you do.
You're talking about shit you just barely understand. I can tell what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you do understand. So how I thought it was the same thing.
But connect that to the conversation of race. Connect that to the conversation of race.
That's different from a man to a dog. That's fucking dumb.
Listen, if it's the same thing, why'd you just call it a hybrid?
Okay, connect what you're saying to the conversation of race.
Because the conversation is if you took a Homo sapien, I said if you took a Homo sapien and you mixed it with another hominid, you know what I mean? What would it be?
Okay.
Is it the same thing? It's the same thing as a Homo sapien. Listen to the question. Is it a mixture? If you took a Homo sapien by itself, just a Homo sapien, meaning a black human, if you took that and you mixed it with some other kind of hominid, maybe like a pale Neanderthal. I'm just saying, is it the same exact thing?
It's still a human. Yes, it's still a human.
Yeah, they're human.
No, I didn't ask you. I did not ask you whether it's still a human. I said, was it still the same?
Is it the same thing? You're not even identifying what. You're not even giving any type of parameters to say that.
So okay.
And we have a
okay. Now again, I'm glad you answered.
Let's move on, man. Like
no. My second question. My second
conversation about race.
Like this is somewhere.
My second question is: so how do you define a hybrid?
Bro, let's do that on another show, bro.
How do you define a hybrid?
Someplace that
how do you define a hybrid? Why are you getting mad?
No, let's do that another time, bro.
Why do you want to
answer the conversation of race?
Why not just answer the question? Why are you so angry? Everyone talking.
Because go ahead. Let's finish the conversation, man.
Like ignorance get annoying after a while.
It's hard to have a conversation with God. I be trying to let the brother in, but damn, it's hard to have a conversation. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I had to put him in the waiting room. Go ahead.
I mean, okay, so like this, what we gotta recognize is like even though like our phenotype and all these things can be identified in genetics, race worked backwards to identify. Like it looked at these things and said, I'm going to put race on it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it, like race didn't come out of the genetics. That was the label that was placed on it. That's why I always say it, like when we attempt to understand things through race, we're working backwards. Race is a lens in and of itself. It's not the natural reality. Like the whole thing that break it down is like it's white people that are genetically closer to black people than they are to other white people. That kills the notion of genetic race. What makes you being like, how are you white if your genes are closer to that of a black person? What makes you white then?
I would love to read something about this
makes you
question,
white,
y'all.
Domo. Ideology makes you white.
That's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, like
Philosophy
race
and
is a lens
theology.
through which we understand the world. It's a lens through like it's a lens through which we like decipher and break things down. Like we understand that stereotypes are the easy or is like the brain shortcut to understanding things. That's why we attach. It's easy to attach ourselves to race, even though it's detrimental as hell. Because it's just easier to understand. Cool. If I'm a black person in a white environment, society like the social cues tell me I could be in danger. You feel me?
Right.
That's because the social cues. If it's a white person that's walking through the hood, social cues tell them they're in danger.
Humans categorize shit. That's what we do. We
Let me clarify this Neanderthal thing.
Nah, we don't got to go back to Neanderthal, Joe. We could deal with that another time. That's just crazy what he's talking about, bro.
Yeah, he was way off. I was going to straighten it up. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, we don't got to address. That's just foolish, bro. Foolish.
But let me say this. Let me say this one little snippet. You ask the question, what you get when you mix a Homo sapien and a Neanderthal? You get a human that is better adapted to the environment that they're in. And guess what? You get a better person.
Good, yeah. It's crazy. Like I said, they're both humans. Like even what you're calling the original Homo sapiens, we still got mixtures, bro. We got ghost DNA and shit. Like them niggas, like I said, there's other hominids walking around in Africa. We don't know the whole story. But that's just some whole, like I said, that shouldn't even, we talking about race and then niggas go back to goddamn 400,000 years ago. Like, what's the point? That's crazy.
Right?
We talk about a social construct of race created somewhere around, say the 1600, you want to say 1400 with Negro land. Okay, cool. But how we go back another 380, 90,000 plus years? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, we'll do a show on that whole little eugenics shit. We got Gullah. Gullah, what's in the building? What's going on, man? See you popped in. Oh, you might be can't talk or something. Oh, you low as hell. Yeah. But yeah, man, shit, it's been a good show. We never rocked out. Everybody winning. Soda now brought the eugenics over the social world. So now we got to break down eugenics. I put Ghana in the weight room. Now he called me a coward. Ghana, I'm a coward, bro. I just can't fight with you, bro. Like not for too long, bro. I tried. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a break, then we'll try to get it another time, man. But shit, I've been rocking over here for 2.5 hours, bro. Y'all, anybody want to close out?
Yeah, man. Science and proper history. Teaching proper history is the best way to overcome race science.
That's how you got kicked out of the panel last time, Joe.
Want to get rid of racism?
That's how you got kicked out of the panel last time, Joe. Talking that science shit.
Well, you're gonna have to just boot me, bro. I'm not getting out my tank this time. Shoot your arrow.
Yeah, hard-headed, man. That's what it got.
I gotta do it, bro. Ain't nobody listening, man. All right, I'm gone.
Yeah. Don't you got any closing arguments? No? Sola, any closing words, man? You done set it off. Man, everybody missing. Gideon, closing arguments. Fontaine, where we at?
Look, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and check it out. Like a lot of this conversation is really dumb. I'm gonna be for real.
I already know.
Like and I respect I respect everybody's opinion, but it's like the basis of your conversation can't just be I have an opinion. Like if you say wild shit, expect like I mean let me say it like this. Like like they say in research in science and everything else, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Like so you can't just say some shit that niggas is like, hold up, pump the brakes, and then just run straight through that. You feel me? Like this whole well, correct me when I'm done. No, that means that you're gonna spew a whole bunch of misinformation.
Right.
And then niggas and then wait for like, nah, we stopping the misinformation in their tracks. Now we can have a different in opinion, you know what I'm saying, on certain facts. But when niggas is just saying shit that's not factual, I mean, I don't know, I may be in the minority, but I think it's literally okay for a nigga to get cut off because he's spewing bullshit. And not just a difference of opinion, just like what you're saying is categorically false. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's completely non-sequitur. Has nothing to do with the conversation.
Completely.
Like all of that shit is like grounds for interruption. So it's like I get niggas is like, all right, this the internet. I'm supposed to be able to say my opinion. But like, if you want to say your opinion, that's like uninterrupted, like untethered. Then that's why you start your own channel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have an opportunity to do that.
Get off all that wild shit.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you kind of not in the space where like that type of shit is tolerated, then it's like you kind of got to eat that. You feel me? So it's like let's move away from the whining that we do about like being able to talk and everything else if we're not really contributing something that's either moving the conversation forward or elevating the conversation upward.
Or at least bring a source. Golly.
That too. Do that too.
Damn Sosa don't agree with anything. I mean,
I can make my last comment because I'm all up in this game right now. It's the Suns and
what game you watching? Phoenix
Suns
game?
and Timberwolves. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me say this. Can I
let's sort of close out. Let's sort of close out.
I'm gonna close out. I understand, both perspectives, and basically what I was quoting was I was just giving a historical reference as to what the people that called themselves scientists say, and the people that were at the head of these scientific projects that you guys so cling on to, what their views and what their perspectives were. I am not a scientist, and I don't claim to be a scientist. And so I cannot make scientific and genetic terms because my credentials won't allow me to do that. All I could do is I could quote from the people that claim to be scientists and that that created these terms and that created these projects, and I can show how they were racist and how they are racist. And that's pretty much what I was doing today. I think the response was suggesting that, well, scientifically speaking, there is no such thing as race, and there is no such thing as racial terms. And my argument was simple, that, well, okay, that's what you are saying. So that's why I quoted the individuals like Frederick Osborne, and I gave a reason why they began to promote that as a use of propaganda, while they begin to further study the differences between the races. So that was the point that I was making. So whether people want to acknowledge it or not is not really my responsibility. We've been told certain things that we believe, so that's why I just deal with it from, okay, this is what the scientists of that time say. Oh, they weren't scientists. This is what the response was. They weren't scientists, but they were the people that had the credentials, and these were the people that were being acknowledged as scientists. No different than today. When I quoted from James Watson, the father of molecular biology, right? So then it was like, okay, he clearly is making racist terms and he is tying it to his genetic research. But somehow, some way, we still overlook that for whatever reason. And we claim to be, no better than him. We claim to even know better than the person that we're reading from. And I find that to be very problematic. Neely Fuller says, if you don't understand the system of white supremacy and how it works, everything else will only confuse you. And that's what I seen today. A lot of confused Negroes. A lot of confused Negroes. They want to now be the scientists over the people that they're reading from. Now they're going to correct the people that they're reading from to suggest that, okay, now you know better than him. You know, we connect, we quote from the hieroglyphs, and I say, well, this is what they said that these hieroglyphs means. Oh, no, I know it better than them now. I know it better than them. So what they claim to be, what people terms to say, well, this is pseudo and that. Once you show the evidence, they begin to use the same type of pseudo, and I say that in quotes, tactics.
Yo.
The same pseudo tactics. Well, you know better than the geneticists that actually did the research now. You know better than them.
Display of every logic.
With that, I digress.
Yeah, spoken like a man with a debate league channel, man. So, hey, man, it's proud of Solar debate league, man. Very good closing arguments. So I give it a 10. So go ahead, Cedric.
I give it a 10 for attempt, and I give it a 10 for.
No, I understand his passion.
I give him a 10 for the ability to put every logical fallacy in a closing statement. That was profound. That was a unique ability. First of all, when you do not understand the tenets and the foundation of methodological naturalism, you will go on tangents that make absolutely no sense to someone that is actually scientifically literate. Not necessarily those that engage in the scientific endeavor themselves. However, that makes no excuse not to be scientifically literate. Science continues to build upon itself, and we know that there was a point in time in history that it was wild and all over the place. The time where you could just make shit up. You didn't have to source it. There was no experiments. They were not falsified, etc. It was just their opinions. That was the age of philosophy. They called it naturalism. Then this is the environment that all these pseudo ideas were created. With the advent of modern science, the self-correcting, the peer review, the independent studies, and our technology, these are things of the past. So when you have people in your community fear-mongering you, trying to use outdated racist tropes and racist concepts to keep you away from science, you got to question why. Science is the only tool that allows us to find and understand the pseudoisms, the nonsense. There is population genetics, and within population genetics, you are going to find specific attributes to different groups. Does it make it necessarily racist? There is a group of people out in the islands that can dive for 15, 20 minutes. Their lung capacity is completely different than anybody else. Why? They dive pearls. We know for a fact that the Ethiopians are some of the best long distance runners in the world. Isn't this a fact? So to quickly jump into the realm of racism when a scientist is putting his data on the table and analyzing it, does that necessarily mean he's racist? Could be. I don't know. I'm not that sensitive. And because I'm engaged in the scientific endeavor, I can actually willing to go and look at the data without the prejudice. What does it say? Maybe this specific group has a larger IQ. Why? What were the forces? What was the forces? The environmental pressures that led to a specific selection criteria that produced this. You see, when you start to understand this material, you don't quickly run into the racist realm and become all cowardly and, oh God, they're racist. And then a lot of the rest of the nonsense you were saying that was purely unscientific. Like, what are we going to do with this? We understand, as grown men sitting on this panel, that we're all black. and we understand the social constructs and its implications. But we're having a scientific discussion. And in scientific discussion, there is no such thing as racist. We have reached to that conclusion based on the data, irrelevant of the individual's a particular belief system or their ideas. They can have their opinions. Once the data doesn't support their ideas, if we do not qualify it or we do not take it into consideration, because we are not so susceptible to the ideas of an individual. We are susceptible to what the data says, what the consensus says, what the peer review indicated, what is the soundness of the methodology, what is the soundness of the logic and the reasoning behind the hypothesis. These are the tools you use. You use your brain. You stay away from emotional rhetoric and conspiracy theories, all based in straw man and red herrings. And with that, I say we need to do better. We need to do better. All that beautiful jibber jabber psychobabble going on with over and over reiterating the same nonsense. Why take us back to a time that we clearly know, and it's pseudo. We don't engage in it. It's nonsense. It's been disproven. You take us back there. Take us back there to do the conjecture, to do the falsehood, to then make the claim that modern science is equally wild. That means you do not understand the tenets of science and you should not engage in this discussion. With that, I yield the floor.
All right, Fontaine. You got some party shots, man? The last man up, and then we out of here.
I just want to say I appreciate you having me on, and we really can't waste time with these pseudos, man. Like, we be giving them passes saying all the BS they be saying, man. We got to go hard on them like they be trying to go hard on us, Paul.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. For sure, man. Thank everybody for coming through, man. Joel, Domo, Fontaine, Gideon, Cedric, man. Everybody came through. Solomon, peace to you, bro. Man, shoot, man.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
Oh, and one more thing I want to say. Hey, I love how Domo be shooting them down too, bro.
Yeah. Domo got the intellectual realism for that.
Yeah. Shots.